welcome back to the Harbingers D&D campaign. We are so excited to be back finally after 2 weeks of no game. That's sad. Oh, it's so good to see you guys. We are super psyched for the chat to be coming in with Seji right on the get-go. We love you. We're happy to have you guys back. As for announcements, yeah, we missed the stream too, Lady Noir. We missed you guys. We're super happy to be back. Let's see. I'm gonna bring that down a bit. So, as for announcements, I want to make sure. So, Sierra, keep me on track in case I'm not getting all the announcements that I need to. So we do have some inspiration to announce from players from the audience members who commented on the last video. I had a list of them and I needed to pull them up. So it is, sorry guys. Well, I don't know where my list is. I know Nova Flare got some, and I think Seji got some. Greg already wrote both of them down.
So, the people who have commented on this video are Lady Noir 88, Seji Wick, Nova Flare 4580, and Jonathan Vanoy, and that's it.
Okay, so all four of you guys gain inspiration that you can use to influence the roles in this game. So you can use up a point of inspiration to make any of the players or NPCs or bad guys give them disadvantage or advantage throughout the game. Additionally, if you have ideas of what you think would be fun to see or add into the story, make sure that you just comment in the comment section as to what you think should be added, and we'll see what we can do to fit it in. So we are super excited about that. Congrats to you guys for getting some inspiration. And again, at the end of this video, to all of you audience members, we're going to ask a question before we close for the night, and if you comment on this video with your answer to that question, then you will receive audience inspiration for our next session, and you can use it whenever you want. It's going on Greg's board, so we're not going to lose it. So so we're very excited. As for everything else, Sierra, do we have any other announcements we would like to announce?
Nope, that was it.
Okay, alrighty. Well, we are very excited. So without further ado, we're going to do our recap of last session, done by none other than our resident Dane. Real Dane, not NPC Dane.
Not to be confused, yeah.
So, Dane, if you will do the recap, and then we'll get right back into the story.
And we're just done. That's the recap right there. No. So last session, it's been 2 weeks, but we arrived at Gi, the Earth Monastery for the Earth Genastis. As we're there, we walk across this beautiful long bridge filled with smoke, and we get held at sword point medieval term for being held at the point of a weapon. And after a quick introduction, we realize that they're just being cautious, and they welcome us into the monastery. As we go inside, we're able to kind of get our bearings. Some of the party decides to go check out the library to do some research. And Douse, being here with purpose, decides first things first, he's going to go and take it was a pearl, and drop it off at the portal, and kind of just do his whole pilgrimage. I'm spacing on the word right now, which is why it keeps pausing. Ritual. There we go. To kind of strengthen the portal and take care of it. As he is in the giant chamber, Wei waits patiently and asks that afterwards she tries something with the portal. And so Douse takes his pearls, puts them in, goes through a whole concept of what is Earth. And after succeeding through that, he receives in return, so he's placing the pearls in the basin, and in return he receives the gem, which was, it's been 2 weeks. Was it diamond? It's not diamonds. We'll go over that in a sec, but he receives the gem from the mystical basin, and then with following Wei's instructions, he then kind of reaches forth with her and is able to affect the portal in another way through her, providing a little bit of stability. Afterwards, he comes out of the place, runs into, so he ran into this person a little bit beforehand, but runs into a man named Ripple that Douse does not remember, but is apparently one of his friends from back in school, or at least not a friend, but an acquaintance. There's a whole conversation about that where Douse is trying to be nice and supportive, but the guy is very competitive, and it rubs the guy the wrong way that he has been forgotten. Afterwards, the group reunites together and talks to, is it Emerald? The Earth Genasi leader, Emerald, who is a huge fanatic about the heart of the Earth, and they're able to start a conversation and trade notes. And that is where we are now.
Thank you so much for that. Well, thank you. Okay, yeah. I guess without further ado, we're going to hop straight back into the session where you are in a conversation with Emerald and Lycan. I'm pretty sure his name was Lycan, right? I'm like...
Isn't it Sapphire? Lady Sapphire? Or just Sapphire? I called her Lady.
Yeah, oh,
at
you
G
know
Temple
what? I think it was
excited
Sapphire.
to hear.
It is Sapphire.
It's Sapphire. Because it's Lady, and then I was like, oh, her name is Sapphire. At the Gi Temple is excited to hear of the Heart of the Sea.
Yeah, that's Sapphire.
Okay. I mean, if you want to make it Emerald, that's fine. I'll just go back to and change your name.
I think we got confused because Douse got an emerald back, and then I was confused.
Oh, he got
like,
emeralds out of the pool, not diamonds. He got emeralds, and the lady's name is Sapphire. Okay.
Yes.
I'm tracking now.
So that's probably where the confusion was.
I also have Emerald as the Earth Genasi leader, so that might also be where the confusion is.
Oh. So why does she have two names?
I think her name is only Sapphire.
I must have been writing things way too quickly.
I don't know.
Because I have Sapphire, who's just she is energetic girl at Gi who knows about the heart of the Earth. And I think it was the sister to the guard or something like that.
Right, but she was the same one we talked to.
Yeah, and so I thought we had... Never mind, I had taken notes wrong.
It's all good.
That is A-okay. Sometimes things like this happen, and we just have to announce that officially her name is Sapphire. Regardless of anything, of whatever it was, it is Sapphire.
Yes.
We're just gonna officially do that, because there we go. Well. Alrighty. So as you guys are in this room with Sapphire and Lycan, at this point, as where we left off last time, they were going to be giving you guys some magic items to bring you out on your way, or to help you go along your way. So, I have the magic item.
Megan! Hi!
Oh, She's here? Oh, okay.
She's
Let me add her.
Perfect timing.
There we go.
With no context, start role playing. Go.
She's here. Well, thankfully, we did just barely start, so you missed a recap.
You literally missed nothing.
Sweet. Perfect.
Alrighty. So, as she talks about how they're going to be sending you guys with some items to aid you on your journey. If you follow them, they will bring you. Let me zoom out here real quick. They will actually bring you through the doorway. So if you guys want to follow them, and through the doorway to their left. Whoops, did not want to grab Douse. Whoopsies. And up into the second floor. So this whole building is just like 3 stories tall. And essentially when you go to the second floor, you go to the second map. Are you guys able to move your minis there or no? Here, I'll just grab you all. So, I shall move you.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, so what they do is they lead you down this hallway. Oh, I realize that it's kind of hard for you guys to see. So they'll go north and...
I can see the whole map.
Okay, good. That's good. North and to the left. I'm throwing you guys over there. Oh no, where's Douse?
I had already moved myself up, and so I think you dragged him off the map.
Oh no!
And Douse just goes on the lamb.
He's going on a little adventure.
Okay, let me pull up Douse again, because he just vanished. There you go. There you go, Dane. You've got Douse on the map again. All right.
I tried being helpful.
No,
and I was banished to the nether realms because of it.
No, it is super helpful, but I think it was because I was trying to grab the group. All right. So they essentially... They open up this door in here, and you see that Sapphire enters into this room, and Lycan stands at the doorway, just kind of like waiting for a moment. And then after a few moments, you hear something being pulled, and then with this and then you hear these wheels grinding, and then this like whoosh of air, and you feel this like breeze go past you guys, and just as quickly as it came, it goes. And then suddenly when you enter into this room, it is full of several chests that are all seem to be locked, but you do see, oopsies, these chests in the room. Alrighty. So then Sapphire comes back out and digs around in the room, in the chests, before handing you guys some items. So the first thing she hands you guys are these robes. It is called the Ghee of the Shifting Seasons. So this is a wondrous item, and it requires an attunement by a monk. So this item is specific to Douse. So when found, this gi is gray with a large tree design at the bottom of its bottom hem. When you attune to the gi, its color and tree design changes to resemble the current season. Winter, blue, leafless; spring, green, pink blossoms; summer, red, green leaves; or autumn, yellow, red leaves along the bottom hem. While the gi resembles a season, it gains the following respective benefits. When it's winter, you are immune to the effects of extreme cold, and whenever you hit a creature with one of the attacks granted by your flurry of blows, that creature's speed is reduced by 5 feet, minimum to a minimum speed of 15 feet. I see Dane just like, oh, until the start of your next turn. For spring, when the gi changes to this season, you gain 1d4 plus 4 temporary hit points. In addition, when you use your Step of the Wind, your jump distance is tripled instead of doubled, and you ignore the effects of difficult terrain until the end of your turn. Summer, you are immune to the effects of extreme heat, and whenever you hit a target with an unarmed strike, the target takes an additional 2 fire damage. If you are outside during the day, the target takes an additional 3 fire damage instead. And for...
Copy and paste
Oh,
text.
yes, I will. And for autumn, you have advantage on Constitution saving throws. When you use your patient defense, creatures provoke an opportunity attack from you when they move within 5 feet of you until the start of your turn. So,
I found this on the Griffin saddlebag, so I'm just gonna copy that over.
yeah, so I
But this
just
is
put it into the
amazing.
chat. Yeah, so it's, and you see the image of it as well. So it's this beautiful, right now it is gray. You do have to attune to it for it to be used. Yes, C1 class, this is an amazing item, especially for Douse, the resident monk in the group. I'm pretty sure he's gonna love this.
Can I switch classes?
You can multi-class.
Again, multi-class.
You always can.
Alrighty.
They also give you lessons.
The next thing they give you is called the Shadow Shawl. So this is just a light gray shawl that looks like woven spider webs. While wearing this shawl with its hood up, your face is hidden within a small pocket of magical darkness. You can see through this darkness from beneath the hood as if it were non-magical. If you have the sunlight sensitivity trait, you are unaffected by this trait while the hood is up. Pulling the hood up or down requires an action. So, this is a very nice hood. This was recommended by Seji, or an item that will help Esmond ignore the sunlight sensitivity feature of being a drow. So, but it is yours as a party to do with what you see fit. Seji, Esmond's thriving, let's go. Yes. We are very excited.
Well,
Made it.
don't tell Ace Pace that this is what's happening.
Yeah, we'll just not. Don't tell them.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, we won't say anything. Alrighty. And the last thing that she finds, or well, hands to you guys, are actually 3 items all together. So one of them is like a plush little owl bear, like a little stuffed animal plushie. The other one is like a chicken, but it's got like these dragon wings on it, with its little like chicken legs, but the claws on the bottom of the chicken legs are like dragon clawed, and it's like a mixture between a dragon and a chicken. It's a dragon chicken. as recommended by Nova Flare on the comments of our last video.
So is it like a statue or something?
It's a stuffed animal.
Hmm.
Yeah, so it's kind of
Cool.
like a cockatrice, Silver Dust.
Yeah.
But
Just kind of fun.
more of like if someone took a dragon stuffed animal and a chicken stuffed animal and they like stitched pieces of them together.
Another toy for tax.
And the last one is a Tarask plushie. So these are all plushies. And they are called Snuggle Beasts. Also, C1 class, we are so happy to have you here, and we're glad that you're loving it. We love having you guys. We wouldn't be here without you guys. So, now let me explain the Snuggle Beasts real quick, because these are really adorable. These ones are rare Snuggle Beasts. So when a creature regains hit points at the end of a short rest by spending one or more of its hit dice, that creature can regain extra hit points if it spends that short rest snuggling with one of these enchanted toys. The kind of Snuggle Beast and the hit points it restores are determined by its rarity. So these are rare ones, so they are 3d6. And I know it says in there that it is a dragon, but the plushies can take on different forms, so those are what they look like, but they are all rare. Once this property of the Snuggle Beast has been used by a creature, that creature can't benefit from the same Snuggle Beast again in this way until it finishes a long rest. So you guys have...
Wait. So we have these plushies, and if you like cuddle with them, they give you hit points back?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
During a short rest.
How many hit points did you say?
3d6, because it is a rare one.
What's this from?
These are all from Griffin Saddlebag, right, hon?
Yes.
Oh, okay, fun.
Nice.
So yeah, so if you look them up online, you could probably find them. If not, I can send you the reference photos and pieces. Oh, Silverdust, can I have the plushies? They can join my army. I love this. If you want to make a dragon chicken, there we go. Those would be very fun to have in real life. But as she gives you all of these items, she says, I do hope that these will be able to help you all in your journeys, and, well, and she kind of like rubs the back of her neck, and she goes, don't forget all of us here.
Of course not. It is a wonderful place. You guys are helping us tremendously, and I cannot thank you more than I already have.
Much appreciated. Well, we do hope that these items will help you on your journey, and, well, that you'll be able to spread a lot of good.
Thank you.
You are all more than welcome to stay the night, if you so wish. You do not have to, should you not want to. And again, you are also always welcome here in the monastery, you and your friends.
Thank you very much. Do we want to be heading back to the... We do have people waiting for us back at our boat. Airship. The Escape. Do we want to head back there, guys, or...
Esmond and I will head back. I don't want to leave Ami alone, especially with what happens here at night. Yeah.
Right, we should explain that. Do you want me to do that, or...
Oh, go ahead.
So we have received word that this is Douse addressing mostly Lichen, but also a little bit of Sapphire. that there may be a group of drow that are following a man named the Heralder, and they are using this portal to smuggle beasts through. I told one of the other guards, they played it off like it wasn't a big deal, but I figure I should tell you guys as well. More people who know, at least, if something comes up, the better.
Well, you were telling us to Lycan?
Mostly Lycan, but Sapphire's right next to her, like...
Yeah. Lycan kind of goes grim, and he goes, I'll check it out.
Yeah,
I do doubt the claim, to be honest, as we have some of the tightest security. But I will personally make sure.
Yes,
check it.
and I don't doubt that. The thing is, the drows know how to use shadows to travel, and that might be how they're getting in.
You notice him kind of like look over you, because you are short, but he looks over you and towards Douse with like, or not Douse, Esmond with like a suspicious eyes, as you mentioned, like the drow and the shadow walking.
At this point, Nuri will actually jump in and be like, yes, he was a spy for us. Yes. You figured this out? You can thank him.
He's our source of information. I can vouch for him, at least.
You notice...
He's not... Go ahead.
You notice Esmond, like, as like Nuri kind of like jumped in front of him, he kind of like, and he's like very tall compared to her, you know? And he just kind of like leans over to the side and just like lightly waves really shyly, like, with like the most awkward smile on his face. As you guys are saying that he was a spy for you. Roll deception.
It's okay.
And again, if any of the audience wants to affect this roll, they can, with a advantage or disadvantage, they can use their audience inspiration. So
Yeah, we have a couple of you in chat here.
Are we gonna have an advantage disadvantage war again?
Advantage disadvantage. Oh, maybe, I don't know. Maybe this roll isn't that.
Do I roll online or in person?
Nova Flare's tempted.
I'm gonna roll in person. Actually, I'm gonna roll this die. This one kinda likes me.
C1 class says advantage for socially awkwardness.
I need that in real life.
Can we count that?
I'm gonna put that one up to a higher low. C1 class, higher low. This is something that we use. This is a system that we use in our game. It's a homebrew rule where we ask someone high or low, and they will pick either high or low. And essentially, whatever action that they want to have happen, I will roll my dice. And if you say, for example, selected high and the dice rolled high, then what you wanted will happen. If they rolled low, then it won't. So I'm gonna ask you, high or low?
To C1 class, right?
Yeah, to C1 class. There is a bit of a lag in the stream, so we might have to wait a second.
Just
I
awkwardly
think
wait.
that she and Noah are both holding out
go
for something
low.
else.
Okay. Alrighty. C1 class, it's a low. Let's roll. Oh, it was a high. Wait. Hold on. Because it's 1 through 6 is low, right? And then, because I roll 2d6. And then, or no, is it?
It's whatever. It's up for you because there's going to be a point where it's could go either high or low. You
I'm
can
gonna
choose or re-roll.
I'm gonna re-roll. I'm sorry. This was like right in the center. I'm just gonna re-roll, guys. Sorry.
Hey, that's good.
Yay, lucky for us.
Alrighty. It was a 3.
Yay! So I get advantage?
Let's go.
Yes. So you guys get advantage on deception. Thanks to C1 class.
Am I the one that's deceiving, or is Douse deceiving?
I don't know. You guys.
Douse, are you deceiving or am I
Who's
deceiving?
roll?
Oh, you were the one who said that
Okay.
he was the spy. I was the one that's saying that I could kind of vouch for him, and then he starts backtracking. So if you make Douse do it, I am taking away the advantage and giving disadvantage.
Okay, no, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I rolled
Because
an
of how
8,
he's backtracking.
so let's see what my advantage is.
Noble
Okay.
Fire holding out for a hero begins.
16?
16.
That's
It's
a
not
lot
the
better than
worst.
the 8 that I
Not the
had.
worst.
Pretty
so-
good. Let me.
Solid.
Thank
We're
you.
maybe 20s,
C1
but-
class, you saved that roll.
The blood dice.
No. Roll something else.
Of all the dice. Do I even have to guess?
It's
Do I
20.
just?
No, it's not a 20.
Okay. I was rotating
No,
to put it on
it's
the board.
a 10. Alrighty, so we got a 10 on his insight. I feel like that's one of the first like really poor rolls from the blood dice here.
Yeah, its poor rolls are average. So, and just puts into perspective how good the rolls usually are.
Yes. Alrighty. So, as you Alright, I
need
need
an Esmond.
There we go. Nuri, I need you to tell me what you're going to say for this deception.
Well, she just said, yes, he was a spy for us. That's all she said.
Okay.
You want me to say more? Like, that's yeah.
No, that's
He was a
it.
spy for us.
If that was what you wanted to say, then that's good.
Yep.
You noticed that he still was looking suspicious at Esmond, but once you said that, and Douse said that he would vouch for him, you notice his eyebrows lower. He doesn't seem to be suspicious anymore, as he's like, okay, well, I will personally check into this. I will talk with my guards about what you had spoken with them earlier, and we'll make sure that nobody is misusing the portal.
Yeah, it was only one other guard that I had mentioned this to, so I don't know what his ranking was or anything, but
Well, I will speak with them. There's not too many people here in the monastery.
Just to be clear, they are going straight into the room through the shadows. Like, they aren't. They're going right in. So maybe put up more lights. It's through the shadows.
Okay, we'll look at that and we'll see what we can do. Thank you for the information.
and if you need proof, we could ask Esmond here to try it out.
Esmond's like, you want me to step through the shadows right now?
Would you be willing to just prove that what we are saying is valid?
I mean, I guess. Nuri, are you alright with this?
She seems like her lips are pursed, but she nods.
Okay.
Roll a deception check. Oh no, I'm kidding.
Literally, though.
He kind of is like, okay, only if you're sure.
Just come right back.
He's like, I'll just leave this, watch through the door. He's just gonna walk through the door. And there's like two shadows in the corners of the room as everyone's kind of peeking into the room around the door. And he just goes into one corner and you see him just vanish and like slink into the shadows. Even though it's kind of a smaller shadow, he just disappears into it. And just a moment, like not even a second later, he just appears on the other side of the room.
Like that. Silver dust.
And you see Lycan's like seems to like his eyebrows raise for a second and then they go back to his neutral face. But we lost Dane.
He's gone.
No.
But Sapphire, as she's peeking through the door, she's like, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing. He can literally go through the shadows.
Yes. As you can see why I was wanting to bring up this concern. If someone who has that ability intends to use it maliciously.
Oh my. Well, and she turns to Lycan and she kind of like pats him on the shoulder and she goes, Lycan will see to that and make sure that everything is going to be all right. We will take your claims very seriously. And she like turns to Lycan and she like stares daggers into him. And you notice that he kind of like shifts a little away from her uncomfortably as she's like staring at him like, we will take it seriously. You will look into this. And he's like, yes, I will. And after that, she's like, well, feel free to roam around the monastery, and unless there's anything else you wanted to ask us.
I think we're headed out now. We appreciate everything you've done for us.
Thank you. We appreciate you coming here for your pilgrimage and helping the portal in the way that you can. And for sharing some news about the bears of the sea. If I hear anything more, we'll look in our archives, but if we hear anything more, we'll be sure to reach out.
Definitely. Well, I'll be looking out to see if we can find the other. If Wei was able to make it back, I'm pretty sure the others may have made it back as well.
Okay. Well, that's good to hear. Well, anyways, if you head down to the kitchens, they're just a floor down right beneath our feet, pretty much. Maybe down the hall a bit. But if you head down to the kitchens, they will equip you with any food you wish before you head out.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
You're welcome.
Evening.
You as well. Alrighty. And you guys part from Sapphire and Lycan, and you begin to head out of the monastery. You notice that you actually don't see Ripple in the courtyard anymore. Your former rival that you did not know was a rival. But you do not know where Ripple is. Are you guys going to drop by the kitchens to grab any food before you head out? Stock up on supplies?
Sure. I want to see if they have any horse feed.
Horse feed? They have a lot of chicken feed. But they have a lot of chicken feed. As for like horse feed, they do have some, but not like a ton. But they will let you take some of it.
Okay. Let's
So
see.
they'll give you a week's worth.
Week's worth. So a week's worth. Okay, perfect. Good to know. I'll add it to my list.
Yeah, there you go. To feed the 2 horses on board the ship, on board the escape
Yes.
plan.
So it's a week for one of them,
Yes.
I would assume. So 7 rations.
Yes.
Okay.
7
As
horse
much as-
rations.
Douse wants to go to the hot springs, he will do it when he comes back another time.
You didn't even get to see the map for the hot springs. Unless
What do you mean?
you
I can
are.
see the whole map.
Oh, okay. Unless you see it. I guess the audience didn't get to see it. Let me show the audience the map for the hot springs.
Douse just figures that this was kind of like his side stop, and he doesn't want to keep Nuri and everyone away from their friends and family back at the escape plan.
Responsible behavior.
True. But you're also one of the party.
Yes.
These hot springs are said to be the most relaxing hot springs in all of Kalimdor. Like, they say that you become a year younger just by like resting in them.
Then Douse will make note of this for honeymoon idea.
Nuri, don't go to it.
Oh, he's already thinking about that.
Just like pulls out a planner and he's like,
Not with anyone specific, but might be leaning in a direction. Who knows?
yeah, you never know. It could, I mean, it's for anyone.
No one
one's
specific.
I mean, if he has this in his repertoire, it would make for a great play. You know, some brownie points.
There we go.
Just thinking out loud for a random, who knows what.
Yeah. Seji saying, take that vacation. Also, C1 class, thank you. It does look like a harpy trap, which is kind of funny, but thankfully it's not. These maps are all provided by Sezapeku. What's the name of the map? Shepeku. I'm terrible at pronouncing it because it's like CZ something. Yeah, it spells a little weird, but they make good maps. Alrighty. As you guys begin to head out, you stock up on supplies, and make your way out and through the building and out of the monastery. Let me grab your guys' tokens real quick. I'd like to move you all. Oopsies, I took the chests with me.
Yoink.
Suddenly, all the magic items are in the middle of the courtyard.
Wow, that's crazy. Okay, let me just throw him here. There we go. Yeah, they'll figure that out as to why all of their magic items are now in the courtyard. Alrighty. So you begin to leave the monastery, and as you're leaving, you again look over to your right and you see the giant building that they've built for this chicken coop. With all of these beautiful creatures that at this point you've come to realize are called fern wolves. Fern wolves, Fern wolves. So it's pretty simple. As the fern wolves are these beautiful creatures that look to be like just grown out of like moss and everything. Like it's almost as if their fur is viney and leafy and or mossy in a sense. Just very green, beautiful creatures. Dusty, you really like these wolves.
Yes.
And
Can confirm.
For druid purposes, they do follow the stat block of a dire wolf.
Okay.
So if you are able to turn into a dire wolf, you can turn instead into a fern wolf.
Okay, adding to my repertoire of different dogs I can transform into. Good.
There you go.
Corgi wolves and fern wolves. Nice.
Additionally, as you guys are walking, one of the chickens is getting like a little closer to you guys. And it looks to be as if one of the fern wolves is trying to corral it back, but it got curious with you guys and kind of comes up near your feet. And it comes up, and I guess the closest one on this is Nuri, as it kind of like comes over, it pecks at the ground a little bit and looks back up at Nuri and just kind of
She watches it, uncertain. Just side step around.
Could be a spy.
Well, now Nova Flare and Dane are asking for corgi chickens. So instead of saying a bok, they go bork, 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 bork.
Oh, I see. Even more cursed.
She steps away from those. She has, we've learned from corgi wolves, these should not be messed with.
Bork, bork, bork.
I'm not, yeah.
Their tail feathers are like wagging. Should I make them more cursed, actually?
Ah.
Yes, I got some yeses and some yeses for the Borks.
Oh no. You know, you can make them as cursed as you want, I guess. As your
All of a
heart
sudden,
desire.
every animal in this entire game is like corgi based.
They're all
Get to the
corgis.
unicorns, corgi.
Corgi unicorns.
The corgi corns.
Corgi corns.
No,
The
these
Corgan.
ones are the corgi.
Or in other words,
the corgi
dragons,
chickens.
corgans.
Yeah, we'll just leave them as they are. D&D is not a game you can win yet. Hear me. Yes, we're winning with corgi chickens.
True.
Alrighty, so they just bork. Like a corgi. Bork. And then it wanders off back into the pack, and the fern wolf follows behind. Yes, Seaman Glass, all the corgis. Alrighty. And you
Can we get
guys...
some fan art of that? Corgi animals?
Yes, that can be a whole thing of corgi animals here in this universe. I like this.
Tag one of
I
our
got-
socials.
It's all coming together. We got dragon chickens, we got corgi chickens, we got corgi wolves, fern wolves. Alrighty, so let me bring you back, guys, back onto the escape plan, which, for those of you who are new to the stream, the escape plan is the name of their boat. Their flying boat.
Yes.
Yes, they have a flying boat.
Lore reasons. Don't worry about it.
We sail the seven skies.
All 7 of them.
Yeah.
Oh, you got them in the primordial plane. You got the elemental planes. You got them in the Feywild. You got them in the.
You also basically have a village on these boats.
Yeah, we kind of do actually.
It's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 14. 14 people and 2 horses and an owl.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Also, C1 class, thank you. Thank you. The escape plan is a perfect boat name, and the name was brought about by the creator of this ship, Miles Morano, who is the highest master artificer in this world, as artificery is new. So he named it the escape plan because it was his escape plan. Well, yes, Nova Flare, corgi, no corgis on the boat. We'll get some. We'll get some eventually.
One day.
Mm-hmm. All right, we will focus on the game. I keep getting distracted by the comments. Alrighty, so you guys head back to the boat to spend the night on the boat. Is there anything that you guys would like to do before we head to the evening?
Nuri would check in with Ami just to make sure he's doing okay and that he didn't leave the boat.
Yes. You check in with Ami, and he's actually hanging out with Tax. They seem to be like racing around the boat, doing a bunch of like different activities, just having fun, becoming friends. So he and Tax seem to be very happy, just having fun. Very, very much so like kids.
Douse would take a quick rinse, get all the sweat from the hike off, and then start working on dinner.
Okay. You notice that as you're working on dinner, so originally Girth Toughhammer is helping you with dinner, as she has decided to teach you more cooking as you guys are on the boat, because she has loads of experience with it. So pretty much like you'll be starting to learn a lot more recipes now. every night that you spend cooking with Girth, you can add another recipe to your repertoire.
Fancy. You're on mute.
You're on mute.
First thing I'm adding are the kebabs.
Yeah, there we go. Gotta get those kebabs. But yeah, you gotta pick the recipe. As long as it's something feasible on the boat. So, kebabs, good.
Okay. Nuri would also, real quick, just make sure that we were all on the same page about who's getting what. So, Douse got the robe.
Mm-hmm.
And then no one else can really benefit from the hood unless it is Esmond. So, is everyone okay if that goes to Esmond?
100%.
Okay. So,
Super.
Esmond gets the hood, which then we could kind of count as Nuri getting a magic item, because that, yeah. So, then that leaves us with the 3 plushies. Which,
Ooh.
There is an owlbear, a Tarrasque, and a dragon chicken.
yeah. Would Amaris and Dusty each like one?
Sure. I'll
Cool.
take one.
Which one do you want?
I'll take an owl bear.
Okay.
Dang it!
D&D
I was gonna
movie,
take
baby.
the owl bear.
D&D movie, baby.
Which one would you like, Amaris? There's the chicken dragon or there's the Tarrasque?
I guess I'll take the chicken.
First come, first serve.
Okay, we have an extra one, so we could either give it to
I
an
was-
NPC friend
I was
or
literally,
What,
you would
Amaris?
literally.
saying I'll take the owl bear.
Oh
Sorry, you were cutting out. We couldn't
Yeah,
hear
I was-
you.
no. I see how
Sorry.
it is.
Ah,
You may have
Yeah,
gotten
I,
it before. That's
you
unfortunate.
could not tell. You could not tell by the background. I have moved yet again.
Yes.
Hey.
Oh,
So
it's moving around.
Moved
I guess
again.
my
It's-
computer's just getting used to the Wi-Fi again.
I see.
Alrighty.
Could be.
Well, do you want the other Tarrasque plushie then, since you didn't get the owlbear? You can have both.
If Nuri doesn't want one, then Amaris will take it and give it to Dane.
That's probably smart.
Fair.
Okay. So, give it to Dane.
Dane gets the Tarrasque plushie.
Okay. Alrighty. Perfect. Alrighty. So you give Dane the Tarrasque plushie, and she loves it. It's absolutely adorable. And she will keep that on her for when she goes into her... when she needs it, because she is the resident cleric on the boat. Well, actually, technically, the alchemist is a better cleric than her. But
Technically, I have 2 levels in cleric right now.
that is true. That is true.
I just had an idea. So she's the cleric. She's basically like healer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who else knows about these, but I've got one of these. This is a Soothies emotional support animal. That's what the Tarrasque can be.
Oh my gosh, yes. She'll just give it as an emotional support animal. Like, here, you can hug the
It's okay,
Tarrasque.
just cuddle with it.
This creature. I know it's of a plush stuffed animal of a creature that would kill you, but like,
This one's here to help.
it is.
We're gonna run into
Stop.
a Tarrasque, and like one of the kids is gonna be like, "Oh, I have a toy like that. I'm gonna go hug it."
Oh no.
No.
The kid starts like hugging one of its toes because it's so big, you know, and the Tarrasque like just stops. There's you see like the shiver go up its spine as it just goes straight, and then just with this big bend and stretch as it like turns down and looks at the child, and the child's hugging it. It's all smiling. It's like, I love you. And then you just see the Tarrasque's shoulders slump as it just, and then picks up the kid, and it is now its best friend.
And then we
Nice.
get Iron Giant.
Good ending.
There
Good
we go.
ending.
She's just like, yes, this is my child now.
We need,
Parents
we
come
need
by.
that as an anime
We need
now.
her back. No, this is mine.
This is mine now.
We need this as an anime now. The Kid in the Tarrasque.
There we go. Little short story. Alrighty. Well, oh no! My goodness. Dane is not having a good day.
So sad. Oh, also, while we're on the boat, so from what I understand, Esmond is staying. It is canon that he's staying around Nuri, basically.
Yes.
So he's not really leaving her side. So at some point, as we kind of get back together, or as we're heading to the boat, Dusty will kind of like, perhaps as we're walking, he like taps him on the shoulder, and he just kind of like whispers into his ear. He says, "You're doing a good job about this. Keep it up." And he just kind of like nods slightly and just kind of like returns back to like line order, just as like a good job, doing good, bud.
You notice that that Esmond seems to have a little smile and just nods towards you. Dusty approval has gone up. Yes. Alrighty. Anything else anyone wanted to do before we skip to the morning?
Nope.
Nope. Alrighty.
Real quick, am I back on the stream?
You are.
Yeah. You are here. Okay. Well, so before the evening ends, Douse, you know that you finish cooking and everybody's eating the meal, and you notice that Dane, she comes up to you and she hands you a cup, and it's actually a hot cup of tea that she has prepared just for you. And she just brings it over to you and she's like, I hope you enjoy. It's herbal.
Thank you. I do enjoy my tea. You didn't use Dusty's teapot.
No.
Oh, okay.
I've
just
heard
had to
some
check.
stories.
Oh, they're usually fun.
Yes.
Usually. But thank you, and Douse will take a nice little sip.
It warms you up.
Thank you.
And she will smile and walk off. So. And with that, we will close the evening as everyone goes to their respective bedrooms. Nuri with her husband, Girth with her husband, Tax in her room, Miles with his girlfriend Thea. Man, there's a lot of couples on this boat.
So many couples.
I'm gonna have to rename it to the Love Boat.
The ship. With hard quotation marks. Is the ship.
PG-13. We're a PG-13 stream, guys.
No. Not just. Okay. Not just the ship. The relationship.
Ah, there we
Relation.
go.
That's a good one. That's good.
That's good. That's good.
Oh, I love this. You all go to
I
bed.
mean-
Oh, yeah.
I was gonna say we could all say that's some tied into the Leodon family somehow, because technically,
There we go, because technically you're all related. If you guys want to see how everyone is related to the Leodon family in some way or fashion,
Somehow.
check our last recap episode. It's crazy.
Everyone. It's kind of wild.
So, you guys all respectively go to your rooms and you rest the night away. And in the morning, you wake up to the fresh mist in the air. As you guys are still in the mountaintops, back in that little, like, kind of secluded meadow up in the mountains that you guys have landed the escape plan in. And the mist is still very thick, so in order to navigate properly through it, you will need to head up above the clouds, which will be a little bit harder to breathe in, but you guys will be able to manage it for the most part, because magic. So, and you're not going to be going like way high up. Not like, I guess not all the way above the clouds, but above the mist, effectively. Or the fog. I should clarify and say fog, above the fog. As you guys begin heading the ship in towards the... You're headed towards the Harbinger of Knowledge.
Yes.
Correct.
So I guess that'd be west?
Like
South-
west,
south.
southwest.
I'm guessing southwest. Let's see.
You're
South-
on the
Oh,
West.
it was east! Southeast! That was a
Yes.
fool.
So you are currently...
Don't know geography in real life or the game, no.
So, for this one,
Oh, it is by technicality. Yeah.
we're updating the map, guys. So you guys have completed what you were trying to do here in Gi. Let me zoom this out real quick. And I'll add the markers over Photia. We'll just put that right there. And Eris. Alrighty. And just for the audiences, D&D logic, you'll manage because you know magic. Yes, C1. For the audiences, information for those of you who are new, this is the map of the world calendar, which is the world that the players are playing in right now. The red X's on the map are cities that have fallen to the rend, which is this giant darkness tentacle thing that they're trying to figure out what it is and trying to stop it before it consumes the entire Earth. Well, all the continent and destroy everything. Because it can't be killed. And again, they're trying to stop the Heralder, who is also trying to start a war, become ruler of everything. You know, typical bad guy behavior.
We don't. Needless to say, we don't like him.
Yeah, exactly. No, nobody likes him. Not even Esmond anymore. The silent nods from the cast, like.
I mean, get
He
taken advantage of too many times, and I mean that's it. I mean, you just kind of gotta let it die, you know.
I was
Exactly.
gonna say he knows what he did wrong.
He knows what he did. So you guys are going to be heading southeast, predominantly more on the eastern slope, but you are heading over to the Harbinger of Knowledge. Or at least where Miles tells you he knows where she is. Okay. The flight to the Harbinger of Knowledge is going to take you about a day, maybe. Yeah, probably a day. As you start in the morning, and you will be arriving there on the morning of the next day. So if there's anything you would like to do with this day on the ship, you're more than welcome to describe it now.
Nuri will do nothing today. Of like important stuff, you know,
Yeah,
just reading a
stuff
book
you-
or something.
Yeah, stuff you want to roleplay.
I mean, I don't know if we want to go over it, but Douse is very curious about this supposed fifth elemental portal.
Oh, you want to talk to Way about it?
I don't know if it's something that's pertaining to the story that we need to go over it or not, but Douse is very interested, and so am I.
Alrighty. Would you like to have anyone else in on this conversation, or just...
I think he would share it with Dusty in the sense of that Dusty's been to the water monastery.
Mhm.
Was he
And
there in the conversation when they were when you were talking with her about those portals?
Well, I don't think he shared it with anyone yet because he learned from Wei and via interior dialogue, I think.
Yeah, while he was at the portal by himself, that's when he learned all of that.
That's right. Okay. Yeah, Dusty would be very interested in talking about these things. Like he'd be like he seems like he perks up almost as you talk to him.
We could say that if Douse gave anyone a rundown of like how things went,
Mhm.
they would know about it because he might bring it up with them. So if anyone in particular wants in on the conversation.
Okay. So we'll have the conversation, and whoever would like to have gotten a rundown on it afterwards, like their character would have gotten a rundown.
Yeah, because it could be like maybe Douse shared it at the dinner table, and then they all decided that they wanted to talk about it later.
Yeah. Alrighty. So you turned away in your mind.
So you've been in my mind. You know about this, but what is this fifth portal that you've been that you had mentioned earlier?
Well, it's a fifth portal. You know how there are the 4 elemental portals that make the basis of the 4 elemental monasteries.
Yes.
Well, there was a 5th. And, well, push came to shove, and let's just say this portal did not make it. It was destroyed.
I mean, I have a lot of questions about how it got destroyed, but also like, who was in charge of it? Was it a conjoined?
No one
ownership?
was in charge of this one. It itself. She actually seems to be, for the first time, struggling with her words. As she says, well, this one seemed to fare well enough on its own. It was in a more central location to the other 4, and, well, it harnessed quite a bit more power and energy than the other portals. And to me it seemed as if the energy from the other portals was being kept more in balance by this 5th portal, more spread out. Then again, I don't know what happened after I left this realm, but this portal was destroyed, to my knowledge.
And to double check, is this everybody else is also in this conversation right now, or is this just Douse?
At least Dusty is happy to join.
Yeah.
Okay. Would we be able to go there sometime and see it?
You could
again?
possibly visit the ruins, but I will admit it is a hard place to visit for me. It is the place of an ancient battle, the one where my bearer was parted from the rest of his group, and we were cast and banished out into the elemental plane of water.
So this all happened about back at the separation, the
The scattering?
scattering. Yes.
Yes. This. Oh, this is the truth behind the scattering that your world calls it. This portal was destroyed in an attempt to remove the great beings and creatures that lorded over the humanoids in this realm.
So it wasn't through failure of its own that it went away, but this was as a result of the battle.
Yes.
I see.
And as we are on our way towards the Harbinger of Knowledge, who it will be good to meet again. But as we head there, she can explain more if you wish. But actually, there's one person in particular I can think of that can explain more. But we'll see.
Okay. I mean, I don't want to push you for answers if it's something that's going to be too painful to go through, so I can talk to them later.
It's the loss of my bearer, my previous bearer, is what pains me. As for the events that transpired, I just don't believe I can do much justice to the story. I'd prefer to maybe let you ask some more people who were there firsthand.
I assume there's not many of them still around. I mean, you have to... Let's see. How long ago was the scattering? Over 1,000 years, something like that?
2,000 springs ago.
2,000 springs. Yeah. Are there people still alive after that whole... I mean, what a race to survive that long.
Some of them have passed on at this point. Most of them. I know of one who still lives. And they reside, assumedly, with the Harbinger of Knowledge.
See,
Really?
I suppose that makes sense. Did the Harbinger of Knowledge participate in the fight that you mentioned, the battle?
In a way, yes, and no at the same time. Much will be revealed when you go to the Harbinger of Knowledge.
You see.
Were the other hearts of the other elements there at the time?
Not at this battle. I'm sure they would have loved to be there, but unfortunately, they weren't able to make it in time. This was the most visually appealing battle. But,
We liked how it looked.
at least the dungeon master, when she imagines the battle, she was like,
It was pretty. It was very pretty. It was a cool looking battle. Well, yeah. Good stuff,
And
good stuff.
if the audience would like to get a sneak peek ahead into that, they can watch The Scattering. It is available on our channel, so under the collaboration videos, as we did it with Tales of the Chaos Bard, or Tomes of the Chaos Bard.
Yeah. Oh, Dusty asks, so, was the battle against the portal? How was it destroyed? I understand that, like, portals are magic, and theoretically you can destroy magic with other spells, but must have been some pretty powerful magic to destroy. I mean, there's only 5 of these portals, right? I mean, they've got to be pretty powerful.
They are. They are incredibly powerful. And there's only one power in this world that is more powerful than even that. And that is through the tokens. The tokens of the Harbingers.
Dusty's mind, like, this processes through his head. He's just like, oh.
You yourself bear one right now.
Dusty nods. He's just like, yep.
Dusty's just looking wide-eyed at Dusty.
Yeah. This ship that you were all flying on is powered by the energy of this token.
Dusty's frankly nodding. This is not new information.
This kind of machine would not be running on normal magics.
Interesting. He just kind of like places a hand over where his core is. He's just like, yeah.
This feels right.
Well, appreciate it.
To be honest, it is a great feat that Miles was even able to get a hold of one of the tokens. He must be quite the man for being able to get that. Especially because Diligence doesn't give away her token very easily.
I can imagine. Dusty just kind of chuckles to himself for a moment. And he says, I guess by extension, I was present at that battle as well. I mean, and he just kind of like shrugs. He says, I mean, if you think about it, a big part of what I am is this core. So, in a way, he just kind of shrugs. I wonder if it were possible to remember it.
Intriguing thought, Warforged. One to ask the Harbinger of knowledge.
Well, if anyone knows, it'd be her.
Exactly. Now, go about your day. I wish to lounge and, well, watch the day pass on.
All right. Can't blame you with that. It is quite a nice day out.
It is.
He goes inside his rain now.
Your bracelet starts to get warm.
It was a long conversation.
I'm pathetic.
It was real
Thirsty,
taxing.
I'm parched.
Servant, get me some water.
Exactly. Fetch me the bin. Alrighty. Anything else during this day? Alrighty. Then continuing forward. The day passes on as you guys continue to travel and explore. Exploring the boat. You notice that during this day, like, Miles is working around off the side of the boat. If any of you guys peek over, you actually notice that he's working on a little makeshift dinghy that's like the escape plan, but smaller. It is covered and everything. It's imagine like a speedboat, but if the speedboat was all wooden. As an old ancient boat. The escape plan B. Yes, Silverdusk.
I mean, that could be fun. Let's all go for a quick trip.
Let's go take a day trip. And eventually, you guys make it to this meadow. as you guys continue to fly and you come down, let me put you on the map. Sorry.
I like the names for the secondary boat popping in the chat. Escape Plan B, The Quick Getaway, Lil Escape. I'm glad.
Oh
It
gosh.
likely will be one of those.
Alrighty, well then let's see. Out of all of those, which one do you guys want to go with?
I like Escape Plan B, because it's just like we got the escape plan, and we got Plan B, but the original plan is to escape, so it's just the second part of. I mean, it makes total logical sense, straight to the point.
It's the same. It's just Plan B. What's the full quote from the D&D movie? It's like, isn't that just Plan A? Yeah, but it's got its own spin to it.
That, and then like the other one's like, yeah, well, Plan A has a stink on it.
Alrighty.
Classic.
So Miles and Thea are actually going to join you for this one.
Oh, good.
But as you guys come out, you land, I'm gonna say south of this map is kind of where you land, just in a big field. As you can see to your right, there's this pond that's full of like these little swans that seem to just be having a good time. And there's a little river that flows and crosses over a path. This area seems very peaceful and very untrodden. Like this path that you see on the map looks to be more of an animal path rather than one that's been made by humanoids. As for the rest of the area, Dusty, you feel so at like it feels really good as a druid being here because it hasn't been like affected by humanoids very much. And this feels like, as you kind of like are feeling around in this area, it seems like there's a mixture of ancient and new growth from the plants here. Thankfully, you do not see any rabbits, but you guys actually see a deer or a doe, and I guess the term for a baby deer is just a baby deer. A fawn, that's the word. Thanks, honey. My husband's right next to me, so he catches me whenever I need a word.
Fawns and swans.
Yeah, so there are swans. You see a mother deer, or a doe, and her fawn, as they seem to be just passing up ahead of the river. And they actually like see you, but they don't seem to be afraid. They see you all and they just continue about on their way, and just slowly make their way, walking back into the tree line and disappearing. None of the animals seem to be bothered by you guys.
Huh.
This is a little weird. Even fish flee when you chase them. I don't know.
I mean, I can ask them. Likely they just haven't seen any humanoids around here. And Dusty will actually point over towards some of the growth that looks particularly ancient. And he'll say, I don't think people have been here for a long time.
Fair.
Dusty will actually sort of approach some of the swans that he sees. Do they also not run away?
they do not run away. They seem to continue about their way. That some of them even look up and see you, and they're like, and they just continue about their business. But also, I just want to make a funny. The point of like ancient growth that you pointed to, for the kicks and giggles, you pointed at some cryptobionic soil crust, which is some of the most ancient like dirt.
I see.
Okay, this is probably
Put it in
just
the
a
notes.
funny for me, but that's been a joke in my family for years. The cryptobionic soil crust, but it's very
That's
ancient.
epic. Nice.
Okay, so you
Okay.
see the swans.
Yeah, so Dusty will sort of approach. He'll sort of get down on his knees, and using his Speech of the Woods feature, he will talk to them. They can understand his speech, and Dusty can decipher their motions and their noises into their literal meaning.
Okay.
So he kneels down and he says, how are you all doing?
So what you visually see and hear is a lot of like ruffling of feathers, some of them like preening themselves, some like little swan noises, and I'm not the greatest at animal noises, but what you hear is that. But I will speak to you so you know what they're saying. As you just hear that one of them goes, because you said, how are you doing?
Yeah.
Good, it's been quite a lovely day. Been able to preen my feathers and go through. Got some nice fish today.
Seems eventful.
Very.
Wonderful. Have you seen any creatures like me and my friends over here before?
Maybe a few times, but nobody ever tries to. Nobody ever comes and talks to us.
I see. Not many can. I'm one of the few.
Well, very nice to meet you.
It's good to be here. You haven't happened to see a unicorn around here, have you?
Oh, a unicorn? Who's asking?
He kind of like his body sort of like relaxes a little bit, almost as if he's opening up. He says, "My name is Dusty. I am a friend of the unicorns."
Well, I can't tell you where she is. That's something that you have to figure out yourself. But I can tell you she's a sight to behold.
I can imagine. Well, thank you very much. Be careful if you see more creatures like us. Not all of us are as kind as we are.
Will do. Nice to meet you, Dusty.
It's been good to meet you.
She kind of flaps her feathers and she actually goes through and you notice that she like pulls out like a loose feather, beautiful swan feather, and she goes over and she just sets it at your feet, and she goes, "It's good to make a friend," and then she places the feather right at your feet for you and swims off and joins the rest of the other swans.
Dusty picks it up as he stands, inspecting it gently, as he returns back to the rest of the party. He says, "Not too much info, but I made a new friend. That's good." And he sort of places the feather into his pack.
Okay, alrighty.
It seems that there is a unicorn, they said, but they can't tell us where she is. It seems that we have to figure it out on our own. And no, they have not seen too many humanoids. Hence the warning I gave. But all in all, a pleasant conversation. And you can see his demeanor is maybe a little bit higher than usual.
That's so good. Alrighty. You notice that the area that you came from is the only entrance or exit, pretty much, at least visible entrance or exit. There are like different animal paths through here, but they all lead to through this very thickly, densely wooded area. So yeah, if you guys would like to make perception checks, you can.
I mean, yes. Douse would be looking around, trying to figure out where to go next.
Yeah.
I'll be looking around too.
21.
21. Alrighty.
6.
Nat 20 from Megan.
Yeah. 19 total with the -1 to perception.
Dang. Alrighty. And Dusty, what did you get?
Let's see. Perception. Perception? Wow.
21.
I should roll perception more often.
Alrighty. So, Douse, you see the river, and you see a swan.
Douse is in there. I'm parched. Oh, that river over there.
Your bracelet is starting to get warm again, and so...
Again?
Yeah, again. And you're just... She's really
She's so
looking at that
needy.
river water.
So needy.
Wade's like, I'm thirsty. Give me some water. As for the rest of you guys, nat 20s and 21s. Dang, you guys were really good at perception. As you guys can see in this area, again, it's very thickly wooded around the edges, but it's this big meadow. Some animal paths that, as you're kind of looking, you do notice that some of them tend to come towards the right over here. So you think that there could possibly be something over to the right-hand side. As for everything else, that seems to be what you notice, at least with your base perception.
Okay. Well, we might as well follow it. It's like over this way, right?
Yeah.
This path is
well,
the
so
main path.
yeah, so you got kind of like around here. Yeah, this path is kind of like the animal path that you see.
Okay. Well, if Dusty says, well, if the swans have seen the unicorn, it would make sense that the animal's footpaths might lead us to the unicorn. And he shrugs. We could try one of those.
We could try. I got a nat 20. Do I notice anything else?
With perception, that is what you notice with perception. Like, you guys can make other rolls.
Okay. I think Dusty, first of all, he's actually just going to come to this footpath, this first one.
Okay.
And he's going to sort of see what he can see from here, down the footpath.
It seems like they all disperse into the trees, but the trees seem so, like, thick on this side that it's almost as if you, like, could not pass through these trees. make an investigation check. And Nuri, you're over there as well. I'll actually have you roll Arcana.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Uh-huh.
And again, chat, audience, if you guys would like to give disadvantage or advantage to any of these rolls, you can do so.
I rolled a 0.
Dusty rolled a 0 because he got a nat 1 with a -1. You guys can give him advantage if you would like to use your inspiration.
There's trees here, guys.
There's trees.
I mean, come on, Dusty. Even Douse on the lake or the river.
And Sierra got a 10? A 10 with your Arcana?
I rolled a 3.
That's
7.
impressive. Plus 7 Arcana
that's
check,
pretty
10
impressive.
total.
Well, chat, if you guys want to use your chat inspiration, you are more than welcome to. We have not determined the outcome yet.
Wait, can I roll investigation just to see if I rolled any better?
Yeah, you can roll investigation. Oh, Lady Noir is using her inspiration to give Nuri advantage.
Oh, yay! Thank you.
I also got a 10.
Not very knowledgeable, guys.
Oops, we're good at seeing, not at finding.
And here's the thing. So, as mentioned before, I just recently moved, so I'm back in Utah. And on the drive home, or on the drive here, my sister messaged me and said I forgot my dice.
Oh no!
Oh, so sad. I guess you'll have to buy some more.
Oh no. What a
Oh
problem.
no.
Bold of you to assume I have the funds for that.
Fair. I guess it can actually be a problem.
Aww.
Good.
Alrighty, well, so Megan got a 10 with her investigation, and Sierra with the advantage that Lady Noir gave her, with her comment of sorry Dusty, Nuri has a higher chance of finding it.
Statistically, you're right.
Well,
Emotionally, ouch.
And just for that, and you know, using your inspiration, I'm taking your name off the list.
oh!
That's how the cookie crumbles.
So the cookie crumbles. Nuri, with the advantage, did get a 21. So, with this, so Amaris, as you're investigating, you also see that, like, there's no way to get through the trees. As you and Nuri are kind of looking over, Nuri, you notice that on this side of the trees, there seems to be some sort of like shimmer that you can tell is very magical in nature. This brings to your mind a familiar spell. It's like Leo's tiny hut or something like that, or Leomun's, but it's tiny hut. And, well, not this spell here, but it brings to your mind that spell and how you can make the tiny hut invisible to people who are on the outside, right?
Yeah.
But there's still this, like, faint shimmer of, like, magic there. Like, only if you rolled high, essentially, you can, like, catch it there. And so you notice that there is a similar shimmer here. You don't know if it's like Tiny Hut exactly, but it's of that like kind of that glint in the sun. It's catching it just right that you notice that there's something around the bend right here.
Which bend? Could you click the thing?
Yes,
Oh, that bend. Okay.
that one right there. Also, C1 class, Dusty now has -1 on rolls due to emotional damage.
Oof.
Oh, and yes, he did get a nat 1, 0.
I did get a nat 1 0.
So, Dusty, as you're investigating, I'm gonna say that you tripped. And you just, like, fell on your face. Just
Like falls down, the single swan feather pops out of his bag and like totally lands on the top of his head.
yeah, Exactly. That's what happens. So you have to put it back.
That's so funny.
He like stands up and he like checks his bandages to make sure they're all in order, like resets them and brushes himself off a little bit. He'll now stick the feather in like part of his bandages so it doesn't fall over again.
There we go.
Nuri's gonna go to Dust and be like, "Oh, are you okay?" And she's gonna help brush him off, and as she does, she's gonna cast Prestidigitation to just like clean off all the dirt from his rags.
Yeah, I'm all right. Just a small tumble. I'll be okay.
I can't help myself. Nuri goes, "That was a good tumble. Good tumble. Good job."
It's the mom in her.
It just
It's
calms
just-
down.
It's just like, thanks.
That was a good tumble. Good tumble.
Is Nuri a gymnast mom? Or
Wow.
dance mom?
Please, you've never done that when they fall. You're like,
His-
"Oh, good tumble." I do that to my nieces and nephews all the time.
6-7 behavior as you're like, it's okay, patting him on the head.
He's like way taller.
Good tumble. Good tumble.
Nice.
Alrighty.
Then after that, she's like, "There's something shimmery over here. I'm gonna go look at it." And she's gonna go and like touch it.
Okay. You kind of touch it and you notice that this like faint glimmer of this like magic, this glint kind of cascades across the trees in this area. Let me draw kind of like a right here.
Oh. And we can't go through it?
You poked through it.
Oh, I did.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna walk through it.
You begin to walk through it, and as you walk through it, you guys notice that Nuri just like vanishes. Wait. Beyond this line. And Nuri, give me one sec. You see right in front of you, sitting perched on her haunches, is none other than a gynosphinx.
Oh no! Nuri will back away!
You guys see Nuri reappear as she backs out of this little bubble of magic. Whoopsies. Wrong direction.
Is everything okay? You look a little bit, startled.
There's a Sphinx! He's very
And
big!
as you say that, the Sphinx comes out of this bubble right behind Nuri. Oh yeah, where is Esmond? He's on this map. They're all down here. I forgot.
A Sphinx points in the direction.
Nuri?
Dusty. Oh yeah.
I had a nickel every time I found a Sphinx. I had 2 nickels. This is a lot.
It isn't much, but it's weird that it happened twice.
Nice.
Strange. Dusty just kind of like lifts up a shaking finger behind you.
Nuri turns and she's like, "Oh no!"
And this Sphinx is huge. As you can see that this is just like, she is very imposing as she is just very regally behind you. You notice that like Esmond and Thea and Miles come running over, but when they see the Sphinx, like Miles and Thea kind of stop. Thea has her daggers out. Esmond keeps running forward, and he's like not gonna stop until he gets like right next to you, and he like puts his arm in front of you and is like holding a sword out up to the Sphinx.
Cute!
Does it have a band around its limbs?
So it does not have one of the rings around it.
Dusty's head just kind of like glances down, and he almost lets out like a sigh of relief, and he looks back up at the Sphinx. He's still trembling, but hey, at least it has nothing to do with a certain somebody.
Yeah, exactly. You do notice that there is a scar in its side. But other than that, it looks very, like, strong and powerful, very imposing, as it is of a huge size, I believe, or large, because it's small, medium, large, huge, right? Yeah.
Yeah, huge.
Oh, wait. Then that means it needs to be one size bigger. Sorry, there we go.
No. No.
Making things better. I was looking up here. It's more like up here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, like it is like you're like, huh? So Esmond does that. Sorry, Douse?
Yeah, Douse leans over to Amaris like, I don't suppose you think she likes shiny things too, right?
And Amaris just looks on, I guess.
No comment.
Sorry, I am just so tired.
She's filled with
No
shock
problem.
and awe. She just can't.
She can't respond. She's
I-
just like,
I understand.
terrifying,
Yeah.
So the Sphinx, as Esmond comes up and puts an arm, like, in front of Nuri and, like, holds up a sword to the Sphinx, Nuri, as his arm is kind of touching you, you actually feel a slight tremble in his arm. But, like, only one, and then he, like, kind of, like, clenches himself a little bit, and it you feel no other trembles, as he's holding the sword up to him, up to her. And the Gyno Sphinx, you feel her breath as she just like takes out, like lets go of a breath, and it whiffs onto yours and Esmond's face and onto Dusty as well, because he's right there. And it blows back. Your hair kind of like flies backwards. So does Esmond's. Actually, Esmond is wearing the hood right now.
Oh, nice.
So we're gonna, because sunlight sensitivity. So his hood starts to kind of get tugged back, but technically he has to like be the one to do it, so it doesn't fly off.
Can
Magic.
Dusty like come up behind and like hold his hood up a little bit as he like pulls out his staff as well, and with a very trembly arm he just kind of like holds it upwards. Just
The robotic trembles.
yeah, just preparing whatever happens. And anyone who's looking, as Esmond like ran up, Dusty, his eyes like his head turned towards him, and he almost like glanced towards his blade and up at the Sphinx, and then that's when he like went up with his staff, like that was what he needed to be like, okay, maybe I need to be ready to fight this thing.
He's like, hold on. Alrighty. Well, so the Gyno Sphinx, she lets out this breath of air that just blows back at you. You had the smell of iron assault you. As she looks down at you all, and then looks out towards the rest of the party, and she says, "Why have you come here?" Someone speak up for your group.
To find the unicorn of knowledge, the Harbinger of knowledge.
Nuri's like
just-
put one arm like on Esmond's. She's just looking at the Sphinx.
She nods and goes, and then actually turns towards the little group that's like right in front of her, Nuri, Esmond, and Dusty. And she looks down at you all and she goes, "You needn't fear me, unless you answer my questions incorrectly."
I probably should fear you then.
Her thoughts are snack time. Yes, Silver does. Alrighty, so you notice that Esmond is like still not convinced, but she says, "Put your weapons away. Please, it would make things so much easier." And Esmond...
I agree. Eating people who are defenseless would be easier.
I love this. Esmond does sheath his sword, and he grabs Nuri and they back up.
Yeah, Dusty take a step back a little bit.
Houdini flies into the trees. He's a wizard familiar, but he's like, nah,
Nah.
Alrighty.
It's like, ain't gonna be no nuggies today.
No nuggies.
Douse and
Not
Amaris, are
today.
you going to stay where you're at, or are you guys going to move up to the party?
Amaris will slowly get closer.
Douse will inch forward, but not knowing if this is friend or foe, he's not going to be too close to the party, so that way they're not all in striking distance.
Chomping
So,
radius?
Sphinx is a primordial being, correct? I'm curious because if they are, Douse might have some knowledge of them.
I didn't.
I don't
you
think
deal with
they are.
elementals and like primordial creatures. So
My nephews are using my monster manual, so I can't just pull that out.
shot in the dark.
I don't believe they are primordial. They're
Okay.
I think they're monstrosities, right?
We will say no then. We'll say by DM claim.
Yeah, by DM claim. If you guys watching do check it out and it is different, then that's a whoops on my bad. But yeah. In this moment, she says, in order to pass through and meet the Harbinger of Knowledge, you must answer 3 questions truthfully.
Oh,
Get
actually.
one wrong, and you will perish.
Okay. I mean, if honesty is all we need, and he kind of looks towards the party. I mean, we can be very honest. I mean, what do you want to know?
Well, I will ask 3 questions in my own way, and you must give me a truthful and correct answer. You may contemplate and discuss with your group here, but we need to have one person be the spokesperson, and they will officially give me the answer. I've had too many people before just shout out random things and, well, then their party dies, and I don't think that's too fair. Been trying to fix up the rules a bit over the years.
Truthful to you or truthful for us? Are we going by what's just true to our values?
Yeah,
True.
Or true to your values?
I mean, somebody would say chopping down a tree is immoral, but is it by relative morality? I don't know. Maybe we're grasping at straw. I just really
Think of what is your knowledge and what you know, and answer truthfully based upon that.
okay.
Douse is sitting there isn't truth just truth? What are they talking about?
Relative moralities.
And these are going to be kind of riddles, so there is a what am I kind of a thing. Okay. Alrighty. There are 3 riddles. Riddle number 1. I am the shepherd to a curse that plagues my flock. Cast away by the light, I tread in darkness. King to nothing, yet I dream of a greater reward. I am every child's nightmare. What am I?
Dusty like taps Nuri on the shoulder.
So look back, she's still holding Esmond's arm.
Should we go ask Ami what his nightmares are?
Dusty's just like, didn't you say that one? I mean, we talked about like nightmares and stories from your childhood when we were talking about the Heraldor, correct?
Was it my childhood?
I believe so. When we were talking with, remember, with Marilla.
Oh. Yes.
And then...
Sort of. Might have been mine. I don't remember right now because I'm kind of scared.
Also, the Sphinx will not repeat the riddle, but Emily as DM will repeat the riddle if you guys need me to.
Nice. I'm glad. Thanks.
You think it's the Heraldor? That's the answer you think?
I mean, we should ask. And he's like gestures to the rest of the party. I mean, we have a lot of brains.
I mean, it makes sense, Esmond says. He's like, shepherd
Boss.
to a curse that plagues the flock. I mean, we're all cursed.
He was
I
bad.
beg your pardon, I'm not cursed.
Well, no. I mean, I'm
Not-
elves drow. Well, elves that were turned into drow.
Oh, okay.
And Dusty, he's like, Amaris, any thoughts?
Before I give my thoughts, Emily, can you repeat it one more time?
Yes. I am the shepherd to a curse that plagues my flock. All right. Cast away by the light, I tread in darkness. King to nothing, yet I dream of a greater reward. I am every child's nightmare. What am I?
Oh, that sounds
I mean,
like the Heraldor.
Yeah, that really does sound like the Heraldor.
Would you like me to be the spokesperson?
No, I'll do it. But first, Amaris, Dusty just kind of like shuts you down immediately, very obviously shutting you down.
Maris is like, that would make sense, but what about the part of every child's nightmare? Like, has he, like, we know he has, like, he was part of something that happened to Ami, but do we know? She's like asking this to Esmond. It's like, has he done anything to any other kids?
The Heraldor?
Yes.
I know he took that name from, like, an old folklore of some monster that would hide under the bed, effectively. So it would make sense that he'd be every child's nightmare. I've heard it told in the Abesta Kingdom, mostly.
I know in the ocean we have the Krakens, that horror stories that, scare little kids, but they don't live underneath beds.
Nuri will add, it was definitely from Marilla. I didn't read those stories.
Oh, interesting.
Marilla is from, or she claimed to be from the Abesta Kingdom.
Okay, that makes sense.
Then I do believe the Heraldor is the right answer, but make sure you say the Heraldor and not Nuvian, because what the Sphinx could be thinking is the Heraldor from the children's story. But I think of it this way: you can say the Heraldor and mean either the Heraldor from the children's story or Nuvian. So saying the Heraldor would be our safest bet.
She sent an answer to our knowledge as well, so
Truthfully.
Perhaps.
I feel it's truthful.
If she then is the Sphinx a he or she?
She.
She. Okay. If she asks for a more specific answer, then we can come back and discuss and try and figure out which one.
I think our best bet might be to give as much information as we can right away. Maybe, I mean, if I am our spokesperson, I'll take the role. I suppose saying both together, it is one person after all.
Just say the Heralder.
Dusty kind of nods. We're all in agreement?
Yes.
Nuri is going to prepare to cast her hamster ball on Dusty in case like the Sphinx makes a move to harm him. She's gonna cast it on him immediately.
Alrighty.
Dusty, he'll walk up.
Also, you guys didn't see that, but there was a bug flying, and I literally caught it and killed it on street.
That's
Pretty cool.
Savage.
Just saying. Continue.
Yeah, nice job.
Yeah, now
Well
bring
done.
that confidence to the dynasty.
Hey. Whew. Okay.
All right, Dusty, you step forward. Do you want to move yourself forward on the map?
Yeah. Here. Okay. Is he up? He's up by the...
Does he have to get so close? Back up a little.
No, I mean, he's already within striking distance. I mean...
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Dusty, he kind of gestures for, like, the rest of you to take maybe a step back a little bit, just in case. It's just like... I don't wanna... Okay.
Nuri
Douse-
does not take a step back.
Douse is going to prepare expeditious retreat on Dusty for if things go south.
Everyone's just like...
Everyone's like, are we ready? Are we going to run? The Sphinx seems to be enjoying this.
So, Dusty sort of shakingly walks up.
Oh, it's a self spell. Never mind, I can't cast it on him.
Oh no! He looks up towards the Sphinx. To clarify, out of game, it is expecting the I am the answer.
Yes.
Okay. So, Dusty walks up very shakily, and he says, I am the Heralder. And he kind of like winces a little bit.
She has this very wide lioness grin, and you see all her sharp, polished white teeth. Correct.
His shoulders relax. He like loosens very intensely. He like readjusts his shoulder. Puts a screw back into place.
Tighten those bolts.
A little bit.
The next question.
Okay.
And there are actually technically 4. I'm sorry, I realized.
She
It's a
lied
pop
to
quiz.
us.
We're not supposed to know how many questions anyways.
She's allowed to lie.
Yeah, she's the Sphinx. Alrighty. What is said to be like an abyss, no end to its destruction?
Can you say that again?
What is said to be like an abyss, no end to its destruction?
The mist? She says.
Yeah, Amaris is like pulling everyone together. It's just like the mist.
I don't.
Well,
I don't.
no end to its destruction. That makes me think more of the Wrens.
Oh, you know, actually.
Like a void, no end to its destruction. I mean, the mist isn't inherently destructive.
Right, but everyone thinks it is.
That's true. But it's literal. I mean, and he turns towards Esmond. He's like, I mean, Esmond's technically from the mist, and he's not.
Right, and
He's like,
did say
not what?
Destroyed. Yeah, but you're here.
I
She
mean,
did
I've
say to
been
go based
destroyed.
off of. She said to go off our own knowledge. Like, we now know that a heartbroken woman's
Sounds like a void. No end to its destruction.
Also,
Dane with the comment.
C1 class says, with that correct, is that like enough to embolden Dusty? I'd say Dusty, are you feeling emboldened from that?
Maybe a little. Maybe a little bit. He's still a little shaky.
Alrighty.
So Amaris will continue. She did say to go based off of our own knowledge. And like, we know that Beyond the Mist is not destructive or dangerous. It's basically another kingdom. So this could be the Wrens.
Thea pipes up. They are very destructive. I mean, we've already lost 2 cities to them.
Right. And like,
And a king.
And
Yeah.
the king. And Esmond's kind of like, not here.
It's like, yeah, like they caused like so much destruction. It's like an abyss, and as far as we know, there's no stopping it. This might be the right answer.
Any other last minute thoughts? Dusty again glances over the rest of the party. Okay. We'll go with that. And he walks back up towards the Sphinx.
Specifically in the zigzag pattern.
In the zigzag pattern. He's just like I am the Wrens.
Correct.
Okay. 2 more.
2 more. Oh gosh, I am feeling all of the good evil DM vibes right now.
I need to breathe as a player. Let's see,
Okay, guys,
a little more
like,
sturdy.
I could never be like bad, you know? I could never be just like bad, right? But like when I'm a dungeon master and I'm playing a villain, sometimes it feels so good to be the villain. And this
I know the
person is
feeling.
not necessarily a villain. She's just...
I mean, one of my favorite characters to roleplay was Strahd von Zarevich from the Ravenloft campaign. Or the Christmas Dragons.
Very fun.
Very fun. Very fun.
Okay, you guys ready for the 3rd riddle? You love me so, I soothe you. I dwell in the hearts of those who know me. I am what breathes peace into your ears. What am I?
Anyone else thinking away?
Living with her, I don't feel so much the. I'm gonna stop there.
He's like, excuse me.
I mean, peace.
I'm as peaceful as gonna get.
You don't really whisper it in my ear, though.
Excuse me.
I mean,
I am the ocean.
I'm getting the like.
You're getting.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
let's see. Everyone's here, though. Have you talked to everyone, Way?
To everyone.
I guess it wasn't literal with the others either. Literally every child's nightmares. That didn't apply. But I mean,
If
I don't
any-
feel uncomfortable when you speak in my mind.
Maybe. If anything, I'd say it'd be one of the other gods or something.
Is
I
it
mean,
the Douse's god?
Junipass?
yes,
Yes.
Possible.
it could be.
Or that old one that you like, Dusty. That's gone.
Yeah, I mean,
Who was it that gave Nubian's people gave them a gift?
Are you
I had-
asking that in character?
I'm asking the DM
The DM.
as
was-
Dane.
Heifer, right?
Yes.
The
it
same one
was
Dusty
Heifer.
worships.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, it could be Heifer. Could you repeat the question? I want to run over those with Heifer in my mind explicitly.
Yes. You love me so, I soothe you. I dwell in the hearts of those who know me. I am what breathes peace into your ears. What am I?
Ears. Those who hear me. Peace in the ears of those who hear me.
I love
Those who know
everybody in
me
the chat making guesses too.
They dwell. Those. I mean, it could. At least the second thing, it matches with Heifer. Because it's like, I mean, but at the same time, it's like if you care about a god, then it is good for you. You know what I mean? Like it is. I mean, Judapass is good for Douse. Douse likes Judapass. In his heart, it is good, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Those who know me.
The answer does not have to be singular.
So then would it just be the gods in general?
I mean, it could be.
But
Did
there
the
are.
gods whisper-
Aren't there some gods that are corrupt?
Well, there are.
Miles
But-
kind of pipes up and says, I mean, I guess to their followers that it's like peace to them. Maybe I don't know.
You recall back in one of the first towns we met in, there was that one adventurer. What was her name? It's been so long. But she worshipped that one goddess, the what was it, trickery, darkness, something along those lines.
Calarium.
Yes, Calarium.
Huh.
Calarium brought peace to that woman. It wasn't pretty on the outside, perhaps, and to us it seemed horrible and perhaps even a bit destructive. And it was. She was making bad decisions, but to her, that knowledge brought her peace, that vengeance could be achieved. In a weird way, it was whispering peace into her ears. A really weird way.
Calarium delights in deceit and trickery.
Ah!
Speak her name and she appears.
Descends.
Flashbacks to season 1.
Imagine. Single digit episodes? No way.
The gods, then?
Oh.
I think so.
Miles also agrees.
Dusty, he like looks at his dad a little bit emboldened. He's like, okay. Any other thoughts, maybe? No?
Music?
Dusty like tilts his head a little bit.
Emily, can you repeat the riddle one more time?
Repeat it one more time. Yeah, I agree.
You love me so, I soothe you. I dwell in the hearts of those who know me. I am what breathes peace into your ears. What am I?
I say that as Dane, specifically thinking of Amaris's huge solo she had that one time, way back in season 1.
That's where my thoughts went too.
Huh.
Though Douse wasn't there to hear it.
It's true.
It's not.
But I imagine he's heard Amaris sing a few times on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A few times.
it could be. although music is very general, so like, and
Also,
one
is
song.
God.
That is true. I mean, one song to one person is not great, but like Galarium to us is not great. You know what I mean? So in the
Right.
same, they have the same problem, but they have the same like good things too. Interesting. I've never thought of
Yeah, that-
music as a religion before. Perhaps culture in that case. Like, just
well, here's
culture in general.
here's the thing. To those who know me, everyone knows a different god. So, like, they could know one god, but not much of the other. However, music, even though just as broad, it's like, it's music. People who know music know music,
Yeah.
instead of knowing every single god.
Does sort of carry.
What is your answer?
Dusty like looks by and he's like, "Oh,
Oh, hi, you're still there.
I'm very
Did you get
much
taller?
here.
oh, did you do something with your mane?" Anyway, it could be either, but we need an answer.
Go with gods. Just go. Because you could argue that music is someone's god in that case.
People do spend a lot of time with it, practicing, worshiping. You could say. Does it count? Dusty is like explicitly looking towards Amaris. What do you think?
It's still that part of those who know me. Because like it
Saw the chat. Sorry, keep going.
yeah, equals DM's approval.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's like it's that one part. Like it's that one part of those who know me, because like you know, like, you know, music. It like, even though there's different genres, different messages, like whatever it may be, music is music. However, the gods are each a separate person, and you can't know all the gods just by knowing one. However, to music, you can still get the message, the joy, like the peace that whispers in the ear, no matter the genre.
Thea does pipe up. She goes, but some of those songs are just grating.
Dusty kind of like nods slowly a little bit. He's just I think it may be good to go. And he like looks up, like very like he looks up very instinctually over towards Miles, and he's just like, I think it makes sense to go with the first. I think that may be our best bet. We do only get one chance, but and he just kind of like, for me, I mean, Heifer has almost been a constant throughout my research, and what they've done for the world has been so impactful and so powerful. A lot of what we have is because of her. And he looks over towards Esmond as well. Like, he's looking like at him as he's saying this. Some of our lives came about by effort, you know?
Esmond just nods, but he doesn't seem to be like... It seems like his relationship with Heifer is a bit more complicated.
It's complicated.
It's complicated.
Oh.
And in that case, does he really know Heifer?
Does he really know Heifer? If he knew Heifer, would he have a complicated relationship?
I mean, the gift that Heifer gave them is the same gift that cursed him.
Yep. Okay. Dusty, he just kind of like pauses for a moment, and he's like, "Well, any last thoughts before I go forward? Seems that the majority vote is for the gods."
That was just a side thought to give another option, but yeah, God's work with me.
Okay. And Dusty turns back around and he walks towards the Sphinx. With a little less worry in his step by this point. I mean, he's got 2 right. I mean, what's the chances, right? What are the chances he gets the third one wrong? He's got a 100% chance of being correct. He walks up. He says, "We are the gods."
I'm sorry you didn't answer as I am, and therefore you are wrong.
Correct. You guys are doing really good. I wrote the answers on my sheet here, so like. Alrighty.
Yeah, your hubby sent us them. We're actually just role playing.
Oh yeah, we're just pretending. No, this is all real anguish I'm going through.
The Sphinx,
No,
Senji, the Sphinx totally was playing games on her phone. She just like looks up like, huh, bruh, what? What's the answer? Tell me. You guys took so long.
Gods? Yeah, sure, I'll accept that.
Yeah.
Oh, you're ready now? Okay. Set this down.
Yeah, exactly. Alrighty. She goes, for the final question of this evening, to see if you will make it through or not. I will ask you this question each individually, and this I must have your truthful answer. Once you have each answered, you may step over beyond into this into the shimmery area that like you guys vanished behind. You can wait over there effectively. And yeah, so she will one by one ask you each this question. Okay? So who's going first?
We could roll initiative.
Just say she kidnaps whoever it is, then.
Yeah.
Nuri will just step forwards.
And Esmond's like, wait, no, Nuri. But you step forward. She looks down at
One hand is still like reaching back and holding Esmond's hand though.
Esmond's holding your hand. Okay, she says, "It is justified in your hearts and minds. Never given, always gained. Nuri Tamaron, what is your purpose?" She's like, what?
My purpose is to protect my family. Any means necessary.
You may pass. You step over through this area and you see a doorway appears. So it is locked, so it has not opened, but you do have to just wait there essentially until yeah, you just have to wait there until
Can I see through what other people are doing?
yeah,
Can I,
you
like,
can
not-
see through. It's
okay.
like a one-way mirror.
Okay, cool.
So you can still watch in here. but they do not see you. So they're like, huh? You know?
Dusty will actually bump Esmond to go next.
Yeah, Esmond does go next. But yeah, you bump him and he's like, ah. And the Sphinx goes, Esmond Tamaron, what is your purpose? And you see Esmond seems very thoughtful. As he kind of truthfully says, to be honest, it's changed quite a lot lately. And I'm not sure entirely what my purpose is for. But I know this one thing that I will do, even if it kills me. I will defend Nuri and Omi. I would give up my life for theirs. And if that means I go against Heifer himself, bring it on. But that is where my purpose is at now. You may pass. So Esmond passes through and joins you, Nuri, and he's very grateful that you're there. Alrighty. Let's just do Thea real quick. So she's like, Thea Leodon, what is your purpose? And Thea's like, to end the reign of tyranny of the Winter Court. And she says, you may pass. So that's what Thea's purpose is. That's what she believes her purpose is. Yes, he went class. Whoa, you can't call out a deity. He just did. We're just gonna get the NPCs out of the way. Miles goes up. What is your purpose?
My purpose is to make a brother for my son.
For my son. He goes. He says, my purpose is to invent a better world. And she's like, you may pass. Gotcha, dude. Alrighty. Now we've got the last, and Houdini is just an animal, so he's chill. The Sphinx is like, you can pass, Houdini. You're chill.
Houdini, what is your purpose?
Just do whatever Nuri says.
Yeah, essentially. Do whatever Nuri says, because I'm familiar.
No,
that's what it is.
Not who, what is your purpose?
Eats the bird.
Yeah. Alrighty. Who's going next out of you three left?
I guess I'll go.
All right. Amaris Leodon, what is your purpose?
To reveal truth and to be a light and inspiration to others.
She looks a little closer to you and she says, is that all?
I do hope to one day go home. But for now, I must do what I can to protect this family of mine. As she gestures to the two behind her and those who have passed on through the barrier or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm. The Sphinx actually gets closer to you, and she goes, "Hold on to that hope. Don't let it go." You may pass. Alrighty. Dusty and Douse.
Would you like me to go next, or did you want to go, Dusty?
He like, you can take a go.
All right. Dusty will walk up. Hi.
Douse. Douse of Photia. What is your purpose?
Though it was not initially my own coming up, I have an inspiration for it, but it is to go about doing good in the name of my goddess.
Anything else?
I mean, that kind of encompasses much of what I'm going for. One of them is going around to edify and strengthen the portals, as well as I'm here to support my friends, which I consider doing good.
You may pass. As you begin to move forward, before you cross through the barrier, she goes, "Halt! Way.
Yes?
I know you're there." And you feel Way pipe up in the back of your mind, and she's like, "Hey, Rex. Good to see you again." Like, if she could be pointing the finger guns, like, she'd be like, "Hey." And Douse, you hear this entire conversation. The rest of you guys will not be able to hear this particular conversation. Only Douse will, as it is in his mind right now.
You better get this question right, or Douse is losing a hand. Like,
Douse is literally sweating bullets and no one knows why.
She's like, "Oh my gosh." She's like, "Way. What is your purpose here? What are you doing with this guy?" And wait.
I know the last man you brought home, and that...
all the guys you could have chosen. This guy.
And she's like, sorry. She goes, "Oh, Rexy, baby. You know me, just picking up the next stray cat." And she goes, "That's nothing like you." And she's like, "You're right."
I see, I'm just the stray. Dousing his final time to get back at her. All the sass.
And he's like, "Oh." And she goes, "Well, if you must know, I've first been trying to figure out the state of this world, and, well, it's nice that my bearer currently has a task to be going around it. But recently we've discovered the elemental portals in disruption. So the next step is to continue with the purpose of the hearts of the elements, to restore balance to these elemental portals. And Rex, you know the last time I was here, I was with another bearer. And he is gone, no longer with us. But I have high hopes for Douse here. And the Sphinx just eyes, it basically checks you out, Douse, and and is like, "Well, I'll trust your judgment, Way. Good to see you again." She's like, likewise, darling. And then
Fabulous.
fabulous. and then she's like, you may pass. And then she like turns to you, Douse, and she's like, you may pass.
I'm glad I get to keep my arm. Walks in.
Yep. All right, Dusty.
Walks up, just kind of standing about where he was before when answering questions. Very like there's a groove in the ground where he was standing
because he was so scared.
It's been worn in.
Dusty Murano, what is your purpose?
I suppose my purpose it is to express the kindness that has been shown to me in my upbringing, to protect those that I care about, and to seek understanding in those I cannot understand.
Is that all?
I've come to realize that I have inherited a grand power, and I wish to learn how I can use this power to accomplish my goals.
You may not like what you learn, Dusty.
People often regret learning knowledge, but I will use it to benefit others. And for that, I will have no regrets.
You may pass.
And Dusty will walk.
As you walk past, you notice that she actually has quite a solemn look on her face. You all pass through, and once you've all made it there, what looks to be this shimmering, shining, like doorway, effectively, it dissipates, and you see this archway that now opens. And you are now able to enter into the Harbingers grotto. That's what we're calling it. The Harbingers grotto. It's through this doorway over here that I've moved the NPCs through. As you guys enter into this grotto, Dusty, you feel that that this area is ancient. It is full of ancient plant life and animals. You all see that this is a beautiful grotto of rocks and soft moss and grass, flowers dotting everywhere. And and there are trees everywhere, as well as with these pavilions that when you look into them, there seem to be lots of cushions and places to sit down in there, along with all the walls being lined with books. You notice that there is a fallen tree over here that looks charred, but it seems to be charred like from years and years ago. So it's starting, you actually see starts of like it being healed, and like plant life beginning to grow again in it. But the tree is still fallen. There is an archway over here on the right-hand side that you see, but it is covered in this magical barrier that you don't think that you can get through. Up ahead, you see a beautiful fountain with these beautiful golden rooftops and a nice, fresh, clear, crystal clear stream flowing through it and around. There's this beautiful gold statue, well, more like a white marble statue with like golden leaves behind it, of some deity that you don't recognize. And in front of this beautiful statue and up these raised stairs, you see a resplendent unicorn, with her skin being this dark brown, and her hair this bright blonde, her eyes glowing emerald green, much like Dusty's. And she has a long white horn piercing through the air, as if just one wave of her head could cut through anything. She is this, like, when you look at this unicorn, you don't think of like a horse that had a horn. Think of the unicorns from the movie The Last Unicorn, where they're so much more slender, and have these beautiful like curves and like nature around them. It's almost as if like there's a shimmer around her herself.
I have to look this up because I've never seen that movie.
Yes, the Last Unicorn is a very good movie. I watched it growing up all the time.
Classic.
So just look up the unicorns from there. That's the unicorn I'm talking about. But this one's a brown unicorn with blonde hair and green eyes. She's gorgeous.
Awesome. Dusty's just kind of in awe as he takes in. If you've ever been, there's a term that my family likes to use, stun locked. So like you in a video game, you get hit and there's like an animation time or whatever, you're stunned. Basically, that's what Dusty's going through. He like walks in and he's like, these flowers, those trees, these bushes, these, and like basically that in his mind, and he's just like looking around. He barely can move. Every step he takes,
isn't it neat?
This is
What
all
did you say? This is where I
This is incredible.
should be.
Yeah, he's having a whole Disney princess moment. It's fantastic.
Alrighty. As you guys get closer and Dusty is just stun locked here, you notice that this unicorn seems to step down the dais here. Her hooves clopping with each step. You feel like if you reach down and like touch this grass, it would be so soft. Like you could just sleep on the ground and not be uncomfortable. Like this is the most peaceful place. There are birds twittering about, animals all over that just seem to be just happy. It seems as if the unicorn's magic has some sort of protection over the area. As the unicorn steps forward, and she says to you all, I assume you have some questions. Otherwise you wouldn't be here. Welcome to my grotto. I am the Harbinger of Knowledge, but you may call me Rune.
Writing that down.
Amaris is like looking at her, and she says this pretty quietly, but she's like, Marilla would have loved this.
Dusty chuckles. Poor girl. Missing out.
We'll come back later. We got a friend we have to go get.
Yeah. Also, to be clear, the unicorn is speaking into your mind. It's not like a horse mouth that's moving. It does not seem like she's invading your minds. It seems honestly like this soft presence that just, it feels good. Like she's in your mind and you just feel good. And anything, so you can speak out loud and she will be able to understand and hear you guys, and she will speak to everyone in their minds her answer and stuff. I know, guys, we finally are meeting a Harbinger.
We made it. Hey, is that the namesake? Roll credits.
What?
We're there. We're at the
Okay,
roll
see you
credits.
guys.
Bye. See you next time.
Well, if no one's going to immediately step forwards, then Nuri will, because she's like, ask questions, and Nuri's like, I got them. So.
She's like, I got a lot.
But anyone else can have a chance to go first. So.
Douse is good taking a back seat here.
Everyone's like, unicorn.
Dusty will go after.
I
He's
love how
just still like, wow, she's so pretty.
I also
Incredible.
love the fact that like everybody's like, we're not even gonna introduce ourselves because we just assume she already knows.
I mean, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, she's the harbinger of knowledge.
My name's yes, Dusty. I know the rest of you. Don't worry about it. I know.
I'm technically your grandmother because I provided the thing that's in your chest.
Yeah, it's like it's weird. Don't worry about it. I'm technically related to Nuri as well. This is just how it works, and I'm related to you.
Somehow I'm connected to Nuri.
This wouldn't be the Harbingers if we weren't connected to the Leodon somehow.
Well, when she's like, ask your questions, and like Nuri looks and no one's jumping forward to it. So Nuri's just gonna open her notebook and she'll actually just step forwards. It seems like her sense of safety seems to go way down as soon as like the possibility of getting answers comes. It's just like fall. So she'll just walk like right up.
You step forward right as the harbinger is saying, I do hope Rex didn't cause you too much of a fright. She is really sweet once you get to know her.
Oh, it was a great surprise. Got the heart pumping. It was great. I have so many questions. First off, I'm Nuri Tamaron. It's great to meet you, Rune. Very, very beautiful place. I love the books. Great decoration. I will have to take notes for this.
Nuri Tamaron, formerly Nuri Leodon. It's good to finally meet you.
Finally? You knew about me before?
I know everything. Congratulations, by the way.
On what?
You'll find out.
Can I roll insight to know what she's talking about? If I, like, yeah.
You can roll insight.
Un niño. They have a suspicion.
14.
Do I know? You could just say yes or no.
I'd say you have an inkling, like a suspicion, but not a full, like, confirmation.
High or low?
Seji, wait!
Oh, Seji? What?
Hey,
Okay.
you never know. Could be.
High or low, Emily?
Hi.
Okay. Nuri's like, oh. Is what I'm thinking of? Can I get a yes or no, Rune?
I mean, to be fair, I don't know your thoughts, but you'll find out soon enough.
Okay, so other questions.
She's like, I'm just gonna not think about that. And like everyone else there is probably like just clueless. I know Esmond's kind of like, wow, I never thought I'd make it here.
Okay. Okay. First off, what are the rifts? Where are they coming from?
The Wrens?
Rifts. Wrens. You're very stunning.
Thank you. That's very kind of you. The Wrens are... To put this in a way that you'll understand, imagine if you got a cut. You would bleed, correct? Well, in this case... Oh, sorry, I just read Saji's comment. I think the audience is theorizing. In this case, it's as if the earth has a wound itself, the world. And these wrens are it festering.
So it's bleeding?
The world, in a
Or is it
sense.
just infected?
I'd say a bit of both. The wrens are a wound that has been infected. The heart of the world, the prosperity is fading. And
The heart of the world is fading?
most of you would refer to it as a heartstone.
Wait, we heard about that forever ago.
And Esmond kind of perks up and he's like, wait, what? And he actually takes a step forward and he's like, it's dying?
Shoot.
And she goes, yes, it is. And if it dies, if it fades away, then this world will be no more. And everything that has been done to defend it and protect it over the years, over the seasons, will have been for naught.
So, hi, I'm Douse. Sorry, I forgot to introduce myself, but...
Yes, I know.
Oh, okay. So how do we, if that's a wound, how do we help heal it, I guess, would be my question. I just had to ask because you had mentioned what it was.
Yes. Unfortunately, this isn't a wound that can just have a band-aid put on it. Or, the band-aids don't exist. Have a bandage put on it.
I mean, we haven't tried that yet.
One giant band-aid on the world. Kiss it better. In order to fix this before it destroys the world, you will need to, well, you'll need to collect the tokens of the Harbingers. Those will be able to help heal these wrens and, in a sense, bandage up those wounds. But you also will need to destroy the infection that plagues it. And
What is the infection?
I'm sure you've heard of the Heralder. She side-eyes Esmond, and then Esmond's like side-eyeing Nuri, like, what? Yeah? I know.
That's what we call a toxic relationship. Not her and Esmond, but I'm saying the Heralder in the world.
Yeah.
Okay, so to heal the world, we need to collect the tokens of all the Harbingers, and then also destroy the Heralder. Is this correct?
Yes.
Huh.
So what happens if we kind of need one of them? Like the tokens afterwards?
Well, the tokens, in a sense, will always return once they've been used in something, well, world-saving as this. They do return to the Harbingers if we collect them.
Dusty just kind of nods.
And she turns to you and she goes, "You carry my sister's diligence." Miles is like, well, but will Dusty still be Dusty if he's not, holding it? And Rune says, some knowledge is best left unknown.
I feel like that's one that would be better to know, though. I'm just saying it's kind of a big deal.
I mean, thinking about it logically, and he like pauses for a second, sort of eyeing Esmond, and because he hasn't actually talked to Esmond about any of this at all.
Also,
Before.
you've never actually talked to Nuri about the token.
Yes.
But she knows, so just,
Let's see
Now
now.
everybody's like, huh?
Well, he saw your familiar,
That's
and
true.
so he could have assumed that maybe you heard from your owl, maybe. That's kind of he left it there. Just
Okay.
he did that intentionally, so he thinks you know. This makes
Well,
more
now
sense.
you know she knows.
Now he knows. Now I know that you know that he knew that she knows.
Ah! Well, the Harbinger
So-
of knowledge.
Oh, she knows, and she knew. She knew the whole time.
She knew the whole time.
And she says, some knowledge I will remain vague about, as there is much weight to having knowledge, and I do not wish to burden you too much on your journey.
Yeah.
Plus, I do kind of live for the drama. It's very entertaining when you're here for thousands upon thousands upon thousands of seasons. It's very fun. She's like,
So you're not going to tell us if Dusty will still exist afterwards, just for your own entertainment?
Dusty will exist. I'm not saying that he will cease to exist.
I will say, at the very least, right? Think about the escape plan. Using the power I have, it is able to be powered for some time before it runs out of magical energy. I mean, a similar logical process could be moved to me. It's not guaranteed that I will die.
Rune again turns to you, Nuri, and she looks you directly in the eyes and actually comes very close to you. And she goes, if I could tell you the very hour, the very moment that you died, and tell you exactly how you died, would you want to know? It would be something that would be unavoidable, inescapable.
I'm a necromancer, so death isn't fully unescapable. I mean... So sure!
I mean, I'll write it down, she says, holding out her book.
She goes, no, I will
You-
not tell you. That is not a weight I will burden any with, save one alone.
Is it me?
No.
No.
So who would
Someone
you
else
tell?
entirely. Don't worry about it. I'm just being vague. Again, the drama. It's
I have to ask.
A
tantalizing.
good friend of mine. They're the only ones that I would tell them.
Rex?
Okay.
No, not Rex. Rex, I will not tell.
So does Dusty have
She's
a
immortal,
soul?
right?
Miles is like, yes, he does.
I mean, that's a good question. I mean, if you have an answer, I mean, I'm like,
Ruin is like, okay, guys.
I'm solid either way. I
Hi.
like, it doesn't really like 100% matter to me at this point. But
She's
I mean,
like,
knowledge
I'm the
for
Harbinger.
knowledge's sake.
I'm the Harbinger of knowledge, and I feel like I'm being really underrated here.
Oh no, you're not
Cool.
underrated. You have all the knowledge.
This
As a
just sounded-
researcher, you are
You-
the source. So I mean,
You offered knowledge of future events.
Will the sun rise tomorrow?
Yes. It's just funny because she's like, you guys all came in and you're like, wow, in awe, this is amazing, and now you're like, okay, tell me, does he have a soul?
I mean, we got knowledge.
Yeah.
We
Nuri's
got
got
knowledge.
plans to make. She's a necromancer.
Oh my god.
And unlike the Sphinx, she didn't give us a limit on how many or how long we could take.
It's true.
Bonus.
Oh my goodness.
Bonus knowledge.
She's like, hold on, I'm gonna zoom in for the audience's approval here.
Zoom. Zoom.
Just gonna close up on this.
Okay.
She goes, well, in Dusty's case, he does have a token of a Harbinger within him. Though his body is made of metal, he has created a mind of his own. If that isn't a soul, I don't know what is. But it seems very clear to me that he has created his own.
Nuri's just gonna look at Dusty and be like, I told you so.
Passes money.
Let's have a discussion about this without me.
No, we literally talked about this like back in the single digits, and Nuri's
Yes,
like, I
we
think
did.
you have a soul.
That's true. That's true.
Miles thinks you have a soul.
Yeah.
Okay.
You just see dollars pass between Thea and Miles.
His parents, they're like debating late into the night. It's like, no, yes, he does have a soul.
No, he's a machine.
If you think about the technical term of what a soul is.
So, next question. What do we do with the tokens once we have them? What do we do? Is there a ritual?
Oh, right, yes. So you probably need to know this. Seji, I like your comment there.
Big brain
Big brain move.
smarts.
To be clear, you asked what to do with the tokens.
Yes, and I'm like, is there a ritual?
Oh my gosh. I literally just blinked. I was talking to my husband about this right beforehand. Give me 1 sec.
Let it be
Thumbs up.
known, I have stumped the Harbinger of knowledge.
Let's go. She has to actually think about it. Can you
I've
believe
stumped
that?
her.
Can you believe that?
That's amazing.
That's actually a good question. Allow me to go retrieve one of my books.
My books, I don't remember.
Ah, right here.
Okay, my husband has reminded me because I totally forgot. Okay. She goes, once you have all of the tokens, that's when you make your wish.
Oh. We can just, like, once we have it, we could just make a wish right then and there, or do we have to take it someplace? Or
You have to have all of them together, and you have to make your wish. You get one, so use it to heal the world. This is imperative, that you use it to cleanse the world of the rifts, wake up all of those in comas. If you wish to heal the world, it should do that.
okay. Specifically, wish to heal the world. Got it.
Reese's Pieces for all mankind. But once you do that, you've healed the world, but you still need to defeat the infection of the Heralder.
So, could I get a map? I have a map here. Could you just fill out where all the Harbingers are, please?
You actually see, you hold out your map, and she actually, like, raises one of her legs and dips her head, and the tip of her horn touches your map. And all of the locations of all the Harbingers appear on your map. She does, you're like, yes! Now I have knowledge that nobody else has.
Maps.
I will update those on the map here in the game at the end of the session. But as you get all of the locations, and you notice that Miles and Thea are going to, kind of like peeking over your shoulders looking at the map. She says, additionally, you will have both my token and the token of diligence. So there's only the rest to find. I do suggest going to Virtue next, as, well, she does not actually have her token herself. She has already given it away.
Oh.
She goes and continues. Her token, well, I'll speak this to what you know and the knowledge that you have, has been given to the brother of Merla.
Oh.
Which one? She had like 11.
Not one that she remembered. It is one beyond the mist.
Is Marilla a dragon or a siren?
Are we even allowed to ask questions? Isn't that like her?
Some secrets are best left unsaid.
Yeah.
And
I mean, we kind of already know anyways. Could have just told me.
We already know. You could just tell me. I already know the answer.
Sorry, one critical thing that she says. When you go beyond the mist, many people have not been able to return. And if they have not returned with their full mentality. When you enter, those who... Sorry, just reading the chat. When you enter, and you meet the Guardian beyond the mists, tell them you are friends of Aliana. Aliana is Alyana.
Can Esmond come with us?
Yes.
Really? Because they were cursed to not go.
I know. So hold on.
Or a declaration?
This is the DM being like, what did I plan for that? Hold on.
Pulls book
You
off
can't
shelf. Let
Hold
me
on.
double check again, shall I?
Let me double check again.
Stump
Yes.
Dusty
Double stumped.
stumps.
Double stumped.
Double stumped.
Truly.
I mean, could we give him something to bypass the curse?
Okay. I had to speak with my second hand, my co-DM on this, because I tell Kobe everything, and so he remembers all of it for me because I have such a bad memory.
Co-DM is a little strong. I'd go with notebook.
He's my notebook.
Notebook.
He's my notebook.
Like an episode of Dora the Explorer. Incredible.
I was thinking,
Notebook?
Whispers.
What's the answer?
Handy dandy notebook. Handy dandy husband.
She says, if you are very persuasive, yes.
I'm not very persuasive. If you beg.
And Esmond's kind of like, yeah, because there's not really like a magic keeping us away.
That's not what the mist is?
Just clear, you were banished, but you weren't really banished. You could have come back this entire time. So
No.
you joined the Heralders so
No.
that you could take over to
No.
take us back there. When you could have just taken me back there
No,
anytime.
that's not what it is.
Not even a little bit.
It's
No.
the Guardian. The Guardian is what keeps us from returning. So we had to build up an army strong enough to defeat the Guardian.
What is happening?
That's all I feel. There's so many lore implications. I'm glad my inner dialogue broke through.
Just a random voice. What is happening?
What? That was like so funny. Where is that
Perfectly timed. That was me. Don't worry about it.
coming from? What is happening?
I went through a whole process of trying to decide, like, where did that come from? Because I didn't see anyone say that.
Yeah, it was my inner monologue. Don't worry. It breaks out sometimes.
Okay. Cool. What's the Guardian? Just like a dragon or a big giant?
Well, dragons are no longer here. They've been the scattering and whatnot.
That
Well,
would boggle.
there were some that were able to remain. Very, very few. Due to some technicalities.
Huh.
It's a giant corgi, right?
Just doggy paddling in the
Now
middle of the
it
ocean.
is! No.
Okay, so yes? Is that a yes?
It is? Dragon?
Esmond goes, yeah, it's dragon.
Is it Marilla's brother?
I don't know who... I mean, I remember you talking about Marilla, but I don't really know who that is. I don't recognize the name.
Okay. So, next question. Wait. Okay, we have to go to the Virtue, and she's in the mists. Because she gave it to someone in the mists.
Yes, so you just have to go
Okay.
to the mists and find him.
Okay, cool. Any tips on how to defeat the infection?
Well, we make the wish.
Do we just...
No, that's not
To
the
heal it.
infection. That's the healing of the wounds. The infection is the Heralder.
We just kill the Heralder? Is that...
Once you have healed the world, you must defeat the Heralder.
Any tips?
After we heal the world, not before.
Yes.
Oh, not
Heal it,
before.
Heal it.
I thought
use- Heal it using the tokens. And then you must finally defeat the Heralder.
Okay. I was going through regular first aid where you usually remove the infectious object and then you heal. But that,
Yes, I know, this is a little backwards, but just trust me, this is how it's going to work the best.
Okay.
those who've been affected by the Rends, are they gone? Like because we've heard of like an entire nation practically being taken out. Will they come back or are they gone?
That is some information that I will keep to myself.
So no. Got it.
Okay. Is there anything else we need to know before we start that journey?
Sorry, C1 class got to cure it before the final form power up. Yeah.
Yep, true.
Because you'll
true.
cure it and it will give the heart stone enough life, essentially, for you to survive, so that you can defeat the infection, aka the Heralder, and then it will be back. It will be able to heal itself, essentially.
Yeah.
Because imagine the
logic.
Heralder's like poisoning it right now. And so you basically are healing it, covering up all the wounds, and then you're going and getting rid of the Heralder, and that's stopping it from being able to heal itself. So, so then it'll fix itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do have one last question once we're all done, but it's unrelated to all this.
Mm-hmm.
So if we can keep asking our questions about this.
I'm curious. I mean, Douse and I, we were talking about the portals and how there used to be a fifth one. And Wei had mentioned to us that there was some grand battle there. That the tokens were used at that time as well. And I was curious if perhaps I would be able to, having the token be a part of me, recover perhaps memories of that event or knowledge of the things that took place there.
It is possible that you could tap in to some memories of that time. It would require extreme focus and more attunement to the magical arts, to the arcane arts. But I do believe that it can be possible. Sorry, that was bad.
I'm also curious. Am I able to harness the powers of the token inside of me? Most of the time where I have used its power has been to help my father, and he gestures. But I'm curious if I can more intentionally use it to empower the spells that I cast, or to strengthen my body to be able to lift with a greater strength. And he shrugs at this point, not really knowing where else to go from there.
The token of diligence has great power to strengthen that which you have. I believe that, well, I know that you can get creative with this. Again, try to focus and hone in on it. attune to it.
Whoa! A word glanced in my mind. What was that? Is this what it's like to receive knowledge?
No, it's just it was like tucked away.
You just need to take some time to attune to it. Whoa, what was that?
And we'll see what rolls your way. Get it?
Some dice rolls. Meh.
Meta.
No, she was talking about way on my wrist. Way.
Whoa! It's Inception, Meta. Meta Inception. Whoa.
Dusty has the touch. Alrighty.
Okay. Dusty nods. He understands.
Any other questions for her?
Have any of the other hearts of the other elements made their way back to this plane?
Yes, they have. They've each been figuring out their path, much as you have been. But I do believe that a time is coming when they will be very important to reunite.
Should I imagine that's going to be after the Heralder, but...
Yes. This one's a bit more urgent, but yes, most definitely.
Thank you.
Yes,
Do you
of
happen
course.
to know the names of the people who might be the bearers?
I do.
May I ask?
May I ask? She's like, I don't know, may you?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step on a landmine.
No, you're good. Let me write this down for you.
Rune pulls out a piece of paper, begins writing. Here
She's
you
got
go.
her horn that she's using to like scrape it in.
Exactly. Give me 1 sec. I just want to write them down real quick. So give me just a second.
So, should we also ask about who hired the sisters to off us? Amaris, do you want to ask that?
Amaris does have a questions along those same lines. But she's right now just waiting for you guys to ask us, because these are like the general ones. These are the more important ones at the moment and all that. She sees her questions as like a selfish reason.
Fair.
I mean,
So she wants to wait till this one's finished.
this one is particularly Douse's selfish one.
Selfish.
The names of the other bearers are Gust, Ash, and Claude.
Thank you.
Wait a minute.
Hold on. We know that.
I assume this won't be the last time I'll see you.
I hope not. I do enjoy visitors.
I'll ask your name I'll ask you about where they are the next time I visit you, when I'm on that specific quest.
Okay. Also, C1 class Claude, the first one, CLOD, like a clod of dirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, Greg, I see you humming over there. I wonder if Dane is also on that wavelength or no.
Ooh.
Are you, Dane?
Maybe.
Probably not. I have to go back through my notes. Wait,
It's-
no, is that was the Genasi we ran into? No?
Yeah, it was.
Back at the after the Hamlet.
Right before
Yeah.
the Hamlet.
Right
Or
before
right
the
before.
hammer.
Yeah.
He directed us to the hamlet. He said, "Go there." That's so funny. You guys like shake hands, and you both got like an amulet around your wrist. You're like, "Yeah, how's it going?"
No idea.
The hearts just like both look at each other, say hi. This is the meme, or they're like looking at each other through the cars.
So if Wei has to be watered, does that mean the fire one is just like he's constantly sticking his hand in fire?
He wears like.
But then what about?
He's just got a
Like
lighter.
they're just like punching the ground. Air doesn't have to do anything. They just walk and exist. And they're like, you have to feed your bracelet?
Did you what?
They do notice that at random times the air around them gets thinner.
Struggle to breathe a little.
So
they think they have anxiety.
Amaris, you had a question?
Yeah, so if everyone's done, she'll step forward and is like, I do have a couple questions.
Speak.
But my sisters, they had some things that they didn't have before. Who gave those to them?
They too were infected by the Heralder.
And Mars was just like, well, based on how they've been acting.
Can you say that one more time?
She's just like, well, based on how they're acting, that doesn't really surprise me. And then her next question is, what was their motivation that day when they first attacked?
I know many things, but the inner hearts of someone, I do not lightly tread on those.
Mars nods.
Any other? Oh, sorry.
I guess my last question is about my parents. I just want to know if they're okay.
Then let me give your heart some peace. They are alive, and they are well. They have been able to plant their feet on land safely.
Where?
The Abesta Kingdom. The port towns.
Hold on, I'm trying to pull up the map so I can see where that is.
I can pull it up. I can put you on the map page.
So they're just on the way.
Mm-hmm. West Hollow, she says.
West Hollow.
I mean,
Mars nods. Thank you.
Of course.
that is on the way. I mean, we could stop by and see them. It likely would be a short visit. We do have a time limit, but it would be good to, I don't know. And he kind of shrugs. He's sort of looking towards Amaris. He says, I mean, it would be good to meet your parents and get to see the people who raised you. Parents have such an influence on those that they raise.
You're on mute, Megan.
I started talking and then I realized I was muted.
So sad. It happens to everybody. So sad.
Amaris nods, and she just says, "I think it would be good to meet up with them. I need to tell them what really happened that day."
Dusty nods. Yeah. Give them some closure, perhaps.
Alrighty.
All right. Well, did anyone else have any other questions? He kind of like glances across.
How much time do we have to heal the world?
Before it destroys itself and falls apart?
Yes.
About like 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Good thing we got the escape plan. Hey.
Oh no. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question. Oh, sorry.
No, you go.
Next question. Do you have a book I could study that I could use to learn magic to help my undead friends? Val and Echo, in case you didn't know who they were, but just...
Yes. I was
They don't
thinking
really
you were
want to
thinking
be
of like
undead.
the corpses, that you raised.
I thought she
No.
brought someone else back.
She kind of
Oh,
did
no.
that one time. but-
She will give you a book. But she isn't giving it to you right now. She's going to give it to you in a minute because it's in the other portion of her library. But she will give you something that will help Val and Echo.
In the restricted section.
Yeah.
In the restricted section. And then,
yeah.
last question. Two more questions. One, this is Nuri.
Yeah, no, you're good.
One, who was it, or what was it, that told me to stop looking for Ami?
That was someone who worked for the Heralder.
Could I know what or who it is, please?
An undead lich. Well, a lich that's being controlled by her husband, a wizard who then became a necromancer as well, similar to you.
That's messed up.
Holds on to his wife's phylactery so he can control her. They work for the Heralder. They were doing a lot more of the stuff that was shifty like that.
Oh.
Yeah, very messed up, by the way.
Yep.
That's super messed up.
Yeah.
So was it who spoke to me directly the husband then, or was that a woman? That lich woman.
Emily was like, it was one of them. When,
Interchangeable. They both did it.
yeah.
They speak as one.
Let's say it was the wizard speaking through the dead voice of the wife or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's say that.
Ah.
Oh, it's no one, just a lich. Yep. See one glass. Yep.
Ah.
Can't wait to fight
Okay.
that.
Ah.
But it's not really like world ending. Like as soon as you like kill the Heralder, like they won't really have much work to do other than, raise an undead army where they are. But like that's kind of after the campaign ends.
That's kind of after the campaign ends. I just need to know names so I can get revenge. That's all. Okay.
Ah, yes. Okay. Let me give you
Oh, you're making your list.
yes, let me give you the names. Actually, I'll give them to you.
Expanding.
Expanding her
is-
list. She's going for the Heralder. She did say she'd kill all of them, and now
Making
she
an
needs to go
addendum.
family any means necessary. Generally means getting rid of
Yes,
threats.
there's a lich too.
There's a lich too.
It is Tiberius Raven the Fourth is the is the wizard.
Do not accidentally mix him up with the third. That's someone else.
That one actually works for Judapass. Don't get those two confused.
Yes, I believe you could probably find his son Tiberius Raven the Fifth somewhere hiding from him. He's not a fan of his parents either.
That's right. Okay. Sorry, I just remembered what my next question was.
Yeah, okay. What was your next question?
Did Azon team up with the Heralder?
Yes.
That
But to be fair, a life he cared about was threatened.
Whose life? His dad's? He was already kind of gone.
His mother's.
Oh shoot.
You're like, I know it's not me. Oh.
just his mom.
Yeah, C1 class, maybe one day we'll see the list.
The list.
That's
But-
the credits at the end of our game. It goes through. So,
The blacklist.
Nuri's revenge list.
Yeah, I don't know how well I would have reacted in a situation like that either.
So do they have the queen then?
How did that work out? No. They let Azon and the queen go.
Wow, that was extremely generous of him. That's the most generous thing I've ever heard him do. Anyway, keep going.
Well, Esmond does pipe up and he goes, I mean, if he has no more use for them if they gave over the right to the throne to him, then
So is he no longer technically working for the Heralder?
probably not. And the Harbinger rune, she goes, yeah, effectively.
Okay, so he has handed over to the throne then. Great.
I have one that maybe a little bit more for Esmond, for his sake, but was the Heralder always like this, or did something happen to him?
What do you mean
gave-
like this?
Trying to do harm to the world and
To be honest, again, I don't lightly touch on the hearts of people, but I will say this, no villain is a villain for the fact of being a villain. There's always reasonings, and most of the beings who have dealt great calamity to this world have thought they were doing so in the name of good. Most evil is disguised as good.
but the willing to betray a friend part, was that triggered by something, or is that
It could be.
okay?
Again, I don't willingly jump into the hearts of people and read their innermost thoughts and desires.
True, but I thought maybe you would have known maybe some of his dealings that could have showed him being a kinder person.
I do know there was a woman he did love. And you know Esmond's like, I remember her.
Okay. Esmond seems to have made a connection that I won't pry any further, but thought that would be something he would like to have known.
Sorry, C1 Glasses comment, but I don't know about that. I've seen cats rule as evil beings just for the lulz. Cats are not included. Cats, they're the true definition of true neutral.
They do what
No,
they
of
want.
Don't let the
chaotic
Sphinx hear you.
neutral. I
You- You have not met my Blobby.
My blubby.
He is like the sweetest thing ever.
Awesome.
All right. Well, if we are done with the questions.
Okay, last question. Just so I know how risky I can be. Am I in fact pregnant?
What a last question, by the way.
Hmm. I think next week you will know your answer. If you feel the urge to hurl every morning, if someone tells you you're glowing,
You'll know.
Should we leave it up to the audience and have the audience answer? That'd be our question.
Everyone put in the chat, high or low. The one with the lowest answers will determine her fate.
oh
Is
my
that the
goodness.
question we leave the
What?
chat with?
Ah!
That should be what they have to leave a comment on.
Yeah.
Baby
okay, put in the
names. There we go.
comments
Baby
below.
names.
Do you? Yeah. What are if Nuri is pregnant? Leave your baby names of what you think would
Baby
be
names.
cute baby names for her baby if she was pregnant. No pressure. Yeah, no pressure. Just yeah. Before we end tonight's session, Rune does say, she goes, before you leave, I wish to give you that book you were talking about, give you my token, as well as bring you to meet an old friend of mine who has some items he wishes to part with you to aid on your journey.
Magic items twice in one session?
I'm yipping with great fervor right now.
Alrighty, so before we end tonight's session, she brings you over to the little magical wall over here. Okay? And she unlocks the wall, and the magic dissipates. And you guys are able to pass through the doorway as she walks through. And you open into another wide meadow with a big opening up ahead of you that just spirals down infinitely, and it's full of a library of books. And additionally, off to the south end of the map, you see a large cave with a giant red dragon that is a huge size, and he looks to have many scars, but what you notice about this dragon is the runes that are carved into every one of his scales. Nuri, you have heard of this as a rune-carved dragon. That means that they are actually spellcasters. Additionally, you guys see a black onyx earring in one of his head fins. And he has these deep yellow eyes as he looks at you all and seems to be waking up from assumably a slumber, but some would know differently. And she goes,
Oh, it's his mid-year nap.
and she walks forward and she goes, you may call him the Bookworm.
Last week it was Deathwing.
It changes by my mood.
I'm I'm well aware.
And with that, we will end tonight's session with Kobe featuring the Bookworm, because I don't want to say his name, otherwise I'll disappear to the void.
Yippee! We don't want to make any more sacrifices to get anyone else back.
Exactly. If you want to know why we won't say his name, go check out The Scattering and watch those. We did a collab with Tomes of the Chaos Bard. It was awesome, and that's where Kobe played as Tornon
This character.
Ah!
Oh! Gone. Well, that's unfortunate. Hey,
Into the
reminder.
void.
You can check out our social media pages down in the description of each of our videos, or you can go straight to our website for all that information. And we have a merch store, merch pages. Good stuff. You can help support any way you can. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yes.
Also, reminder: make sure to put down in the comments of this video, well, when it's uploaded, your idea for if Nuri is indeed pregnant, what their baby's name should be. And you'll have inspiration in our next session. Let's see. Sierra,
Bonus
anything
points
else?
for boy or girl.
I'm tossing it over to you, just in case. Yeah, I mean, if you got both names, bonus.
Yeah, go leave that comment. Tune back in next Friday, 6:30 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. It's gonna be fun.
Hey.
That's all. Now we need
Okay.
the DM to end the stream. So